Number three says what?
Handing over to Ruto.
No.
Oi.
We have changed them.
So you have arranged that. I'm not the one who's sings. So then the which you host.
Yeah, first of all, to me Jegiro.
Ametumia zimechanganyana.
Madness.
When we are ready, we just go on, eh? Obunga, my computer starts from here. My lens. Okay. Let us just start. Tutaendelea tu.
Who is naive, childish, and juvenile. In the inner circles of the ministry, I am told he is called the Minister for Entertainment. Waziri wa Sherehe. Security chiefs are telling me he is not available to be briefed on the security of the country. And when he is available, he does not comprehend security briefs. He is known for party after party. He is too excited by the position. He is partying the whole night. And security chiefs cannot reach him. And when they do reach him, he is unable to comprehend the security briefs. Childish minister. And we ask him, William Ruto, you have been unable to get anything right in this country. In the economy, you have failed. Education, you have failed. Health, you have failed. Investment, you have failed. You can't get anything right, including your own security as a person.
Right, hello there, people of the internet. My name is Uru Jegero, and this is Political Day coming to you at 7:30 in the evening. Today, I am in the studio. I hope that our sound is good. People of the internet, I really appreciated our sound last time. Bunga, I want it to be very, very good. Is there sound? Is there sound? Sound is good? All right, very good. Bunga, is there sound? Is there sound? People of the internet, we have to wait for sound. If sound, yeah? It's good, it's good. They will tell us shortly. Sema told there is sound. They will tell us shortly now. Okay, so everything is okay? Your Vashta is not there? You can't see it? Vashta, sasa nguo ni mingi.
It's not there.
Huh? Oh, the transmitter is off. Transmitter is off.
Okay, there we go. Is it come? No. Very good.
Okay, so we're okay. You okay? All right. Odhiambo is okay?
Perfect. Check mic 1, 2.
Odhiambo is okay?
All right.
Odhiambo is okay? All right. So, okay. I've got Vasht in the studio. I've got Odhiambo Tieno, the man who is always here with me. I thought they were going to mic somebody, but I think they have not mic'd. They have not mic'd anybody else, but that's fine. The political temperature is very, very, very high currently, and I want to ask Matiang'i's girl child, but she's very embarrassed of Matiang'i these days, and I'm just like, what is going on these days? She's really embarrassed of Matiang'i.
No, I mean, I'm not embarrassed.
You are having a buyer remorse.
No. I'm okay.
You're okay.
Yes.
What is going on in the country? What is as a young Gen Z? Yesterday I was talking to Mr. Kish. I don't know how to say that entire word.
He has a very hard name.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Very, very hard name. Well, I was talking to him yesterday, and he looks like a sympathizer for the president. Yeah, that's what I got from him, that he looks like a sympathizer from the president. But for you, what is going on? So, by the way, I've sent a very long message by Fanya Mambo on my text message, and I'm wondering where it's coming from. And I don't even know whether I should read it. I don't know whether it's supposed to be public news. I'm not sure.
You sent him or he sent you?
He sent me a very long text.
Can you read it?
I can't read it yet. I don't know whether it is supposed to be for public consumption or it's for my eyes only.
Can I see it?
Let me show you the message. Let me show you the message. Yeah. Yeah. It's a very long message. I don't know what's going on. So that's the message that you sent me. But anyway, you are telling me something. What do you think?
A lot is happening in the country.
Okay.
There has been a lot of murders of women and children, especially when we are talking about security of the president yesterday.
Okay.
It was very concerning that a person of his stature can get his security breached. So if the president anakuwa hivyo, what about the rest of us? And that is a question that Gachagua was asking today. It is very concerning for everyone in this country, especially at a time where there has been a lot of children missing. I don't know if you have seen, but every day...
We were being told by a call actually yesterday about it, you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, every day when we wake up, there's always a poster on WhatsApp, on TikTok of a child missing. And then we are wondering, where are these children going? But there has not been any leader, or the government is not talking about this issue. So it's very concerning on that. And then there's also the issue of femicide that has been going on for a while. Yes, because I watched Citizen News yesterday, and they reported of a girl who had whose body was dismembered. Alipatikana somewhere, amewekwa kwa gunia.
Okay.
So it's a very huge issue, and I'm not seeing if our leaders are doing anything about it, if our security is concerned at all, because nothing is happening.
That is, but Gachagua is talking about the same security and saying that Murkomen is party after party. But he's always in a white t-shirt in Marakwet, kicking balls. I'm wondering, what is he doing there?
Who?
You are minister for security.
What is wrong with him being in Marakwet? That is his home.
His campaign.
Yeah, but he's always kicking balls there. And is he really thinking about security?
At least
he should be having a walkie-talkie, no?
No, he should not be having a walkie-talkie. He's a policy guy. And he should not be in Dubai. He should be in Marakwet.
No, I'm just talking about, but have you heard what the president...
Which president?
Mr. Gachagua.
Your boat.
I've not been bored, man. You know, there is something I was reading. But I don't know whether it is here on The Nation, but I'm going to find it and read it to you.
Yeah.
It is about Gachagua actually talking with the people in London and telling them about his administration and the priorities that his administration is going to be having should he climb over onto that seat of the presidency. So that is very interesting. But I want to get back to Vash. Do you think that is perhaps the reason why Gachagua is coming out and talking about security? Because I don't know, what is the context from which Gachagua is talking when he's talking about security, saying that Murkomen is party after party, Murkomen akona foundation na anaendeshanga huko kwao, na Joho na Omar huko kwao. They are always there kicking some ball. I don't know. You've not seen him.
But what's the problem with it? You seem to be having a problem with somebody kicking balls in his home. You go to Nyakachi every 2 weeks and leave Nyakachi.
No.
What are you always going to do in Nyakachi?
You know the reason why I'm asking that, I have no security docket for your information. And here are women and children being killed. Women are missing in WhatsApp, they're in the TV. But the Minister for Security, the CS for Security, has never come out and talked about this issue at all. You have got 2 children, right?
Yeah.
But you can imagine that a child is coming from school and you can't see them. And there is nobody talking in the government about the same thing. And Gachagua is talking about party after party for the CS, Murkomen. Me, I've not seen him partying, but I've seen him with a white t-shirt written BK. He's always there, kicking some ball. And I'm just wondering, that is what is going on there?
There's nothing that is going on that is wrong with kicking balls. I think your concern is on the issue of children disappearing.
Okay.
Which of course concerns every other human being who is alive in this country.
Okay.
Especially because we don't know where these children are going. They could be disappearing into organ trafficking.
Yeah.
They could be disappearing into child cells. The other day, I think it was Citizen or NTV that did a piece about a child buying racket, where we saw children being sold for 300,000 shillings. And of course, it should concern everybody, because we always say security starts with yourself. And also, this issue of leaving children to play outside is also very, very dangerous. We are living in an increasingly dangerous community where we don't know that it's voodoo, black magic, or whether people are just out to sell children. I've never understood what you will buy a child for other than organ trafficking. or just malice to make somebody feel bad that they've lost their child or something. Yes, of course, should the government address it? Yes, how so? First in Parliament, because Parliament is the representation of the people before even the executive talks about it. It is Parliament then to summon the Minister for Internal Security to give a record or a brief of what have they done so far in response to whatever is happening. So the minister then only takes account that this is what we've done, here is where we're going, this is the police we've introduced. The child protection unit should be a whole unit under the police, for example. I expect Murkomen in the next few days, if it is not already there, to establish the child protection unit as a police unit, especially within the metropolitan areas of Kenya. That is Mombasa, Kisumu, Nakuru, Eldoret, and majorly the urban settings, so that they can help coordinate with the Nyumba Kumi system to see how this works. And also, perhaps another policy statement which we expect to see from Murkomen is enhancement of the Nyumba Kumi system. It is something that we've talked about for quite a long time, but Nyumba Kumi system will help us take note of new people. The other weekend, I was at home, and I attended a Chief's Baraza. In that Chief's Baraza, I remember sharing with you yesterday as we were going home, that the chief, the assistant chief, the OCS, the DCC, everybody was there because we were concerned about theft in our local area, where cows are disappearing and people are robbing. Ever since I was born, we've never placed gates in our compounds, but for the first time, people are starting to place gates and fences.
Yeah.
And
in Kabondo.
Yes, in Kabondo. And we saw that happening, and we were trying to enhance that. One of the things we're talking about as a policy issue, and a policy that is not formal in paper, that if you see any car or a new person passing, you greet them by shaking their hands and asking them, where are you coming from and where are you going? Because that has always been our culture. If you meet a young man who you don't know, you ask him, where do you come from? Whose son are you? If they can't identify themselves, then the citizens arrest immediately, and the OCS and the chiefs and whatever are notified, and this is taken up. So can we also have a replication of a Nyumba Kumi system like in Tanzania, in Kenya?
It is most effective in Rwanda.
Oh, in Rwanda.
Yes, it's most effective in Rwanda. In Rwanda, you cannot be in an estate for like 4 days before they pick you out and ask you out to a meeting.
Oh yeah, actually.
And ask you, what are you doing here? What's your vibe? Yeah. I
remember two areas. One, I'll talk about Rwanda and Tanzania. In Rwanda, I was living in Nyarutarama. That is like the Runda of Kigali. Yeah. And I remember I was being told, there is those watchmen. They're not watchmen.
Yeah.
Those are intelligence officers who are positioned at those gates. And I remember one morning when I was leaving without my host, the watchman talked to me in English. But when the host is there, they don't talk English. They're talking in their Kinyarwanda. And I wondered, how did he know that
they know
I'm a new person there?
Yeah.
Now, but I remembered when I was entering at the airport, they did ask me, where are you going to sleep?
Yes.
And I had to leave my details there. Now, the other example is when I exiled myself to Tanzania.
Yeah, why did you exile yourself to Tanzania?
For love. Another question, another story for another day. It was a love story. So when I went to Tanzania, I remember the day I arrived at Buzuruga Kusini. Buzuruga Kusini is the stage in a place called Nyangoto. And the lady who was hosting me there, a very old lady, she was about 78 back then, who was a good Samaritan basically. The first thing she did for me, she took me to the Nyumba Kumi chairman, and I had to introduce myself and produce documentation of where I'm coming from, who am I, what has brought me there. Yes, I went to Tanzania illegally, but even that illegality was noted.
Yeah.
Once it was noted, you could not do anything. And when I was moving from Buzuruga, that is Mwanza Kusini, to come to Nyamongo. Nyamongo is the gold mine next to Sirare border. Okay, I was also handed over to the Nyumba Kumi people there.
Yeah.
So you cannot just move. And if that perhaps is enhanced as a policy statement by Murkomen in the near future, we can see.
It is very interesting that yesterday you are passionate talking about the Kisumu security, but you did not mention the CS. And perhaps you think that he does not have a role to play in the issue of security in the city?
In Kisumu?
In Nairobi. I mean, in the entire country.
No, of course he has. But
you did not mention him yesterday.
Of course, but Kisumu is a more localized issue which can be dealt with as I prescribed, because it's been dealt with before in such manner. You shoot to kill these people, wipe them off, the grid. It becomes a deterrent. Anybody who wants to try thieving knows that it is quite hectic. But as you do that, ensure that the economy is sorted. Because most of these guys are just unemployed. If we employ them, they'll have something to engage them. So there are two things that must run concurrently. Shoot to kill, but also create employment opportunities.
I don't agree with you with shoot to kill. Vash, don't you think it's a bit over the top?
Yeah,
Odhiambo thinks that we are in Congo Brazzaville.
It's a bit out there.
Yeah.
Though for some reason, I agree with him because thieves and the kind of people that we are seeing, the only way that we can reduce at least the things that are going on is by putting the fear of God.
Putting the fear of God.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. All right. Let's welcome people of the internet. Odengo is locked in from Watamu. Thank you very much for joining. Velna Mora, hello there, people of the internet. Tuned in from Kiambu. Thank you very much. Really can't. Hello there, people of the internet. Snowface 97 Jagero, you're late, mate. Live from Glasgow, Scotland. Next is talking about is shouting at Obunga. I don't know why he's shouting at Obunga, but for some reason Obunga is always a darling of the internet. Patrick is saying Dani from Bahrain. That is Bahrain in Middle East. Yeah. Edgar is saying sound bwana, sound ilikuwa iko shida, lakini sasa iko sawa, si ndio? Rate is saying, is it me who lacks sound from my side? Tuned in from Wathonger Nyatike. Is that a place? Wathonger Nyatike.
I've always heard of it. I don't know if it's a place.
Tom is saying all the way in Des Moines, Iowa. All right. Velma is talking about is shouting at Obunga again. Steph, hello, timekeeper as always. A delight seeing Odhiambo in the thumbnail. Very, very good. Odhiambo is a handsome man for sure. Really can't Jagero unasumbua Obunga. Snowfish saying Odhiambo will send him this guy is talking very, very tough English. So I'm saying, hey, bwana. That girl is so beautiful. No one of the Jagero has been featuring him. Mwage mtama kwenye kuku wengi. I know a bit of Swahili.
Watadonadona. Ukimwaga mtama kwenye kuku wengi watadonadona.
Watadonadona. Picking.
Yes. You got it. You're good.
All right. So those are the things that are happening. Hello from Alexandria, Egypt. Snowy 72. People are all over the world today. Damn, Vash is pretty. Jagero, I can't believe you've hidden all this time. Raj, that is... those are Luos. Luos are not good people, Vash. Do not be tempted.
Stay away from them.
Stay away from Luos. Well, I think Luos are the best thing that ever happened.
Stay very close to them. It's a university.
It's a university.
Yeah, you will learn.
Yeah, women go there and have first class honors.
Yes, in character development. Beautiful university.
They have first class. Even these Maasais are not good people.
They're Nilotic.
And Kipsigis.
Do you know in the Maasai community actually?
Yeah.
The first wife belongs to the community.
Right?
Yes, the second wife is what is yours, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Men are better.
What else? What else are we talking about? Let's Odhiambo, what are we talking about next?
Yeah, so we are having something that happened, of course, recently. Hassan Omar, who is the Secretary General of the UDA party, the regime, has been talking quite something.
Okay.
And people have been upset. I want us to listen to him a little bit, so that you will get what we're saying.
Wale walitukulia mashamba huku katika maeneo ya pwani yote, na waambia mkuwe tayari kuregesha nazi. Wenye nazi sasa wako tayari kuja kuzetu. Yule hatupendi, yule ataka kuturegesha nyuma, yule fisadi, yule aliyetangulia kama rais wa jamhuri hii, yule anafadhili upinzani, yule aliweka vikaragosi, yule hakuwa na azma ya Raila, yule hakuwa na azma ya sisi kuendelea mbele, yule aliyotusaliti, yule na watu wake tutawaweka katika kaburi la sahau ili waende huko mbele watokomee na sisi tuweze kuhakikisha tumeendelea na
There's a big problem, and the problem is that people are getting jittery at the conversation that has been initiated by Hassan Omar. Of course, Hassan Omar is very consistent. This has been his statement from way back, saying that there is a particular community that took their land. If you go to Lamu, for example, a big chunk of Lamu is not occupied by Waswahili. A big chunk of Lamu is occupied by people from central Kenya. They even have a women rep there who is not Swahili. And there's nothing wrong with them being there, but the fashion with which they went there is what Hassan Omar has been contesting.
What is the fashion?
The fashion is that Kenyatta trafficked them, if not took them there,
Okay.
and allocated them land
Okay.
at the expense of the locals there. And that is nothing wrong. Issues of land are very, 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 very emotive. Kenyatta tried the same in Kisumu. That land between the Lake Basin Mall and the airport was initially allocated to people coming from Mount Kenya. But you know how Kisumu is very volatile. The Kanyakwar people chase them away. And that's why you don't find Kikuyus with residencies in Kisumu. It is very volatile. And quite a big chunk of Taita Taveta under the thing of conservancy, where they're saying that wanyamapori wana importance zaidi kushinda binadamu. Taita Taveta largely is a conservancy. Actually, up to 60-something% of Taita Taveta is actually
a conservancy.
A conservancy in the name of a park.
So Kenyatta took a little bit of the people.
It took quite a chunk, and
to go and live there.
To distribute his people there. Okay, ukoloni iliendelea wakati Kenyatta aliingia katika uongozi. Okay, by taking lands that belong to the indigenous there and reallocating it. What was wrong with them doing their business in Mount Kenya? I have a big problem. It could sound tribal, but these are painful questions which people must ask themselves.
Yes, they are painful questions. Yeah. But look, I think that we have to put things straight. So, if you have a chunk of land that is being occupied by a group of people, and that is their land that they are farming, they are using that land as a grazing land. They're using that land to do a few things. To play and so on and so forth. And you bring people from another place to take over that land. I would say that is wrong. Okay, but my question is with the Kenyatta issue is that, for example, you're talking about a conservancy. A conservancy is land that is basically not being utilized by anybody except animals, wanyama wa porini.
Yeah.
And I want to know what exactly happened when Kenyatta was taking people from Mount Kenya to that land. Were the indigenous chased from that land? If indeed the indigenous people were chased from that land, then there are question marks that should be revisited. Okay, but if the land was virgin and there was nobody there, and the people from Mount Kenya needed to be given land, I do not see anything wrong with that at all, because at the end of the day, we are all Kenyans. And the utility of land belongs to all Kenyans. My problem with Kenyatta is that while Kenyatta was doing this, he was hiving off land for himself and for his family. For example, the Northland that is now building. Can you imagine that Kenyatta himself as a man and his nuclear family is currently developing land that is so large and so huge that is going to be carrying around 350,000 people that are going to pay him rent.
Yeah.
350,000 that are going to pay him rent. And I feel like while Gachagua is talking about other places and the right of Kikuyus to own land anywhere in this country, the issue of Kenyatta should actually be told and discussed by the Mount Kenya themselves. Because it's very interesting that Mount Kenya is very quiet about the unfairness of the Kenyatta family. From the Kenyatta, the president, the first president, and this Kenyatta 2 guy. They have done Kikuyus really dirty, and that should be spoken about. But for me, I would say that it is dangerous to actually talk about Kikuyus having land in Taita Taveta in that fashion by Omar Hassan. I believe that Kikuyus are Kenyans. They can be settled in Nyanza. They can be settled in Taita Taveta. They can be settled in Migori. They can be settled anywhere, so long as people are not being driven away from their own land. And so long as there is a very good conversation at the government level of what needs to happen, because there are chiefs in those areas. What was the conversation then? Because I sometimes also think that it is also putting a particular community in harm's way when you do things in a way that is not discussed properly within the community. So, for example, you cannot just have land in Migori and suddenly bring Taita Tavetans to live there without talking about the community. These people are new here. They don't understand the language. They are being looked as aliens from another place. And basically resources are very few and far between. So that for me, and last time we were talking about this same issue, And I told you that, well, these issues of injustices that happened in the past, I like those conversations, but I don't like the crossroads and checkpoints where they're being prosecuted.
So let me
because I feel like Omar does not really care about the people from his place. He actually just cares about politics.
No one cares about the people from their place. Even Gachagua does not care about his place.
Yeah. Let me tell you this. Whilst it's true that you're giving a very objective analysis of how these things should be discussed, unfortunately, land is very emotive. And once a discussion goes emotive, it bypasses logic. And the fact is, Jagero, there's no way that we want to pretend here sitting that all Kikuyus are bad. No, they're excellent Kikuyus who are doing very well in life. They're excellent Kikuyus who are dignified people from the lower social class. They're Kikuyus from the middle class who are decent. They're just doing their businesses. But there are people who took advantage of the name Kikuyu and they walipora mali ya wananchi through the name of the Kikuyu. In fact, I can tell you, there are two entities in Kenya which alienated land largely from the people. And these two entities, one of them is called Kenya Railways. All right? Kenya Railways, right from the port of Mombasa to Malaba, it occupies land that is immense. You go to Kisumu, for example, half of Kisumu is Kenya Railways, including Milimani. And you're asking,
you're asking yourself, why are they having that land?
Exactly. You come to Nairobi, Landimawe, Sijui Nini, you hear them, where railway people used to live. Those are railway settlements.
But that's government.
You even come to Kibera.
But that's government.
That's what I'm saying. You even come to Kibera. Because that government came from something. You even come to Kibera. Kibera, the whole of Kibera. Nobody should be actually having a title deed there. Because it was land meant for settling the newbies, who were the workers for the railway construction. Okay? The same happened in Kibosi, in Kisumu, etc. Along, wherever you see newbies, it is the land that was given to them by what? By Kenya Railways to stay there temporarily. Now, that is one sect of injustice. The other sect is Kenyatta. Kenyatta did very wrong in this country in the name of the Kikuyu. Okay? Because he was taking these people and going to settle them there, not because of a good heart, Jagio. Let me tell you something.
Yes.
He was settling them there as a buffer zone.
A buffer zone for what?
For the alienation that he was doing for himself. For example, are you aware that by this morning, President Tutu gave an order that land that is unutilized in the coast region to be bought immediately? NLC to check who owns which land that is unutilized, buy it back under compulsory state acquisition, and redistribute it to squatters this morning.
So there's no way. There's squatters at the coast.
Of course. There's no way mtu Taita Taveta atakuwa squatter in Taita Taveta. It's injustice. There's no way.
But there is so much land in Taita Taveta. Even
there's no so much land. That's why you're getting it wrong.
There is a lot of land that has been bought by foreigners.
There's a lot of land that is under
the political elite.
There is so much land that is under conservancy.
Even your Nilot doesn't own land there.
There is so much land under conservancy.
Your Nilot does not own land there.
Jagero, concentrate.
Okay.
Even that Nilot that you're talking about got that land from Amuzungu.
Okay. Yes. Okay? Exactly.
Criticals. And he donated part of that land to squatters. That land that he bought from Criticals that you're talking about, he donated part of it to squatters. What piece of land has Uhuru ever donated to, or the Kenyatta family?
But that is the thing, and I want to read you something here that is very interesting. That the Kenyatta's empire. This is a story that was carried by Tuko on the 22nd of May.
Yes.
Okay. The Kenyatta family built a vast and diversified empire that spans real estate, finance, hospitality, and agriculture, showcasing their generational wealth. And when you talk about generational wealth, I don't understand what they are talking about. This generational wealth. This is wealth that has been stolen. Their Northland City project in Ruiru and the private Northland Aerodrome highlight an ambitious infrastructure and inclusive amenities. In addition, their substantial stake in banking, ownership of luxury hotels, cement the family's position as one of the Kenya's most powerful and wealthy dynasties. Uhuru Kenyatta, is Kenya's Northland City. And this is very interesting. At the center of Northland City is an ambitious 11,000 acre mixed-use development in Ruiru, about 15 kilometers from Nairobi. Okay, the project estimated at 500 billion. Yes. Uhuru Kenyatta has 1 trillion in his pocket.
Yes.
Uhuru Kenyatta, 1 trillion.
Which is statistically impossible to make.
Can you imagine? Yeah. So where has he gotten that money? He was here for 10 years, we know that for sure.
And he was a drunkard before that, don't forget.
No.
He was a drunkard. Uhuru, by the time Uhuru was being picked from Machangaden to be made the candidate for Kanu, don't be afraid.
Uhuru is a statesman,
he was a drunkard.
You can't talk. You can't,
He was a
you
drunkard.
can't come to a podcast and call Uhuru a drunkard.
He was a drunkard. The truth,
that is you're lacking decorum.
I will tell you.
You're
because
lacking decorum.
Decorum does not mean that you cover things. Decorum also means that don't shy away from speaking the facts. Uhuru was addressing us during COVID. Half drunk.
Uhuru is the third president of the Republic of
Uhuru was
Kenya,
addressing us.
right?
Uhuru was
it is,
addressing
but
us during COVID.
we cannot run away
half
from
drunk.
the facts.
You cannot run away from those facts. He was always drunk addressing us during COVID. You can see it in his lips.
You are making light of this conversation.
By the way,
I'm not making
talking
light.
about-
It's a fact.
Talking about Omar's
Yeah.
issue,
Okay.
we have to ask ourselves where Kenyatta was getting that land from.
Okay.
Remember, immediately after independence, the British, while they were going away, they gave Kenyatta 1 million acre of land so that he can redistribute
To the people.
to the people, so that the British or the white people who are here, wakienda, they just go. But he decided to take that land, akigawa watu wake. And then talking about the issue of costs,
Okay.
Alita Kenyatta, there is some point ukiangalia sana in history, you will find that he called people in the coast lazy. So akachukua Wakikuyu akawapeleka huko hivyo in coast so that wao waende wafanye huko kazi, because the people from the coast are very lazy people. So whenever we are
That was
talking
what he
about-
was saying.
Yes.
That was the conversation.
Yes, you can look it up. He was
Yeah.
calling them lazy. That's why there's a lot of marginalization in the coast. And then mambo ya land, whenever there's a political timing,
Okay.
wakati wa season ya campaign,
Alright.
I think in 2022, I heard Ruto saying that atapea watu wa coast title deeds. Raila was saying the same. This has been an issue that has been
And
there.
Ruto just
for-
the other day gave title deeds in Mama
kila
Ngina.
wakati
Right.
huwa wanapeana title deeds,
Yeah.
but no one ever comes waangalie, okay, so how are we going to solve this issue vizuri. Wao wanasema tu Ruto akienda huko, every time he goes there there is title deeds zenye amepeana. Hata Uhuru akienda huko hivyo alikuwa anasema there is this title deed tunapeana nini, but no one ever does anything about it. So when Omar was speaking,
But my problem, Vasht, is that there is, for example, you are 22, 23, right?
yeah.
If you were born in Taita Taveta, how would that conversation go? How do you feel about it? Because that's where you were born. That's what you know as home. But then you listen to Omar saying that you don't belong there. How does it affect you?
Yeah. That's bad. That's why people are calling Omar out. But it's a
Yes.
conversation that we have to have. The people calling Omar out are not talking about the land issues that he's bringing up. They're just
Okay.
saying he's a tribalist. Yes, it's a tribalist remark, especially since we are going into election season, and it might incite people. But we have to talk about it anyway.
But how do we talk about it? Do we talk about it by shouting at the top of our voices that these people do not belong here? But I'm asking you a very interesting question that I think you should answer. I think that even the people that were given that land the original people that were given that land are probably all dead. Correct?
Yeah, correct.
And now we have people that only know that place as their home.
And we cannot chase them away.
Yeah.
Because even Indians, usually we're talking about Indians
No, I don't know
being
about
in
Indians.
Kenya.
I don't know about Indians.
We're talking about that.
I don't know about Indians.
So we cannot chase them away. Watu wenye wako hapa hivi, we have to accept that they are here, but the conversation has to be in a way that haitakuwa ina incite other people.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Omar is completely out of character.
Yeah, he was reckless.
And he's creating panic within people that are completely. I think
We
they are-
must-
when we-
Even
must-
Moi is doing a lot of-
we must talk about land decisively,
but
courageously,
there is
and look at the offender in the eye.
Can I-
we have expropriation of land without compensation in Kenya. It will have to happen
Yes.
someday.
Yeah.
I want to tell you, Jagero,
I-
in 2006, 2007 in Kisumu,
Okay.
because that's what I know best. Because these things we are covering, then when they lipuka, we're like, justice.
Justice.
In 2006, 2007, in Kisumu, people were very dissatisfied. There was a conversation there that Jaluo iko anasema Jaluo hawezi fanya biashara ya duka, Jaluo hawezi. And those Kikuyus who are living in Kisumu, some of them who are very bad used to talk like that. The Kikuyus, like a friend of mine who went to school called Evans Njau, his father used to sell somewhere opposite KWS. I used to go there.
KWS where?
Kisumu Wildlife Service residencies. The father was a good man. Evans Njau was a good man. We went to school together.
Okay.
But there was another one called Ouru.
Uhuru.
Uhuru. We used to call him Uhuru.
Yeah.
He used to sell inside Nyalenda. He would talk about us very derogatorily, but we were buying from him. When 207 came and cleansing, quote unquote, started happening in Kisumu, he was very targeted. But Evans Njau and his family was left. Why? So, because sometimes when we talk, this thing is not about just occupation and law. This is about how people feel. We must ask ourselves the biggest question. What is this really about? Are we just talking about legality? Or are we talking about the reality of issues? People in Lamu...
Odhiambo, I have no problem with this discussion going on. But which rooms are we supposed to have this discussion?
This room, it starts from here. Let's talk about it. Let's face it in the eye and talk about it, Jagiru. There's a question about land. And Hassan Omar is telling us, is giving us the mirror. And when you look at yourself in the mirror, you're starting to hate yourself. Because you're not pleased at what you're doing. You want to tell me that it was okay. Even President Moi used to do it. He could come to Kisumu and give somebody like Ogonyongede. That land that Ogonyongede is settling on and building a church on. That land belongs to the government. He could give land like Molasses huko. Alikuwa napeana tu hii mchukue mfanye nao kitu yenyu. And many other cases where Moi just allocated land like that. That culture stopped because we were having a land reform thing that came to be. Now we're talking about you people, especially Kenyatta, because Hassan Omar was talking about Kenyatta, not Kikuyus. And he said, there's nothing you're going to tell us that is new. Because what are you telling us that is new? Yourself and your father did so many atrocities where you think that your people are more important. You're using them as human shield, taking them to go and occupy lands as buffer zones for yourself so that you grab the bigger piece of land. If you go to Mukuruku and Njenga here, and many grab lands in Nairobi, you'll find that there was some very influential councillor back then who would steal land, then allocate squatters. Then inside, in the middle of the estate, he has his own palatial estates. Okay? That is what we are calling out. That we cannot continue with that level of greed. And that's what Hassan Omar is calling out. There are uncomfortable discussions even in the house that people normally have, but we have to have them. One of them is pointing somebody in the eye and telling him, you are
So where is
a wrong
Kenyatta that is
leader.
pointing in the eye?
This Kenyatta, this second one and this first one. These two are wrong elements. There's nothing new that Kenyatta can tell us. In fact, we need to go to the discussion of the day. So that we deal with him thoroughly.
I still think that the fashion in which we are discussing the issues and the people of this country is not good at all. It creates a lot of panic. In fact, that Omar of yours is a friend of the president.
Of course.
Is he not a friend of the president?
Well, they're not
so
friends.
when he's shouting at us on microphones, why can't he go and talk about it to the president, who has all the powers to deal with this issue first?
It is
But you know,
politics.
these conversations cannot be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Anything about historical injustices, lazima watu...
Kuna jittery.
Yes.
But we cannot fiddle in Rome when
But
Rome
you have
is
to
serious.
talk about it.
No,
Yes,
but
yes.
he's shouting at people. He's not really.
Just
Yeah.
Google Hassan
way
Omar's
he-
history. He's been talking about this thing even before he became president. In 2014, Hassan Omar addressed the same
Yeah, but
issue.
now he has a friend in the president. Why can't he sit down with the president? Why can't he talk about it in parliament?
Did you hear him say, Hassan Omar is not in parliament? Come on, Jagir. I think you know that.
Is the SG.
I know.
Yeah, he's not in parliament. So he
Yes.
can't talk about it in parliament.
Yeah, but-
the only platform he has is to talk about it as he's doing.
But he's
And I'm
at the
saying,
center of power.
He's consistent. He's consistent. And that consistency comes from 2014 when Hassan
I
Omar...
think this panel is today very.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable. You will have to stand and walk out. It's very uncomfortable. Because in 2014, when Hassan Omar was saying that Mombasa kuna shida, at one time, people in Mombasa were saying Mombasa sio pwani. Ni pwani sio Kenya. Did you remember?
Yes, I remember that.
Why were
What
they
was
saying-
that about?
Why were they saying
What was
pwani
that
sio
about?
Kenya?
What was it
It's
about?
about the historical injustices. Land taken away from them. They don't have ownership of those land. People are profiling them, but they're lazy. So they can't plow the land. So you bring people who can plow those lands and do business
That's
there.
what was done.
And that's what was done, Jagiro. This thing is true.
And we can also talk
Kwani-
about the Maasai, because
Yeah.
the Maasai can also come up. People are buying land.
So
in
many people,
Kajiado
by the
and
way,
I
Jagiro,
don't
even
know
like
where.
Kipia here. Right now, let's even
Like people have been
shift.
taken over by the whites.
Let's even shift away from Kikuyus. Let's go to the white thing that is happening in this country. Why are whites being given land under conservancy? It will let us bongo animals from where? They fly in some jet, then the Minister of Tourism goes to receive bongo at Kenyatta Airport. Then you're given huge tract of 10,000 acres.
And then they are calling
conservancy.
because of rats and turtles.
Yes, ati wanyama wana umuhimu kushinda binadamu. That's what we're saying no to. So let's leave Kikuyus alone. Let's talk about the issue that is here. Whites are now occupying our lands without paying a cent.
And by the way, this gentleman that is doing conservancy, what is his name?
I don't know him.
No, the guy that whose book we went for the other day.
My brother Ogada.
Ogada.
Yes.
Ogada was saying that they have actually taken land and decided to call it UNESCO World Heritage.
Yes.
Shamba yenye kukua msitu.
Yes.
And we're talking about Israel the other day.
Yeah, even Israel is being allocated land somewhere in Nakuru.
So it's something that
and
we
by
have
the way,
to talk
Jagero,
about.
the question about Nakuru as well is also the question about land. Because some people, let me not call names because people are getting jittery. Some people were brought from somewhere and settled where some other community was originally there. The question of cleansing in 207 in Nakuru, in Kiamba, wherever. What was happening? Some people are saying, you don't belong here. Get out.
Yeah, but what does being belong here mean?
Belonging is a very big question in politics. Belonging means, in Kisumu, for example, again, in the whole of Milimani, 90% of Milimani occupancy is Asians. Blacks don't have power to take those houses. And those houses were originally government houses. How are they allocated from Kaguthi? Kaguthi was the PC then. How did he allocate these lands? Instead of giving indigenous Africans, he gave them to Asians. Asians come from Mumbai poor, but you never see an Asian living in Nyalenda in Kisumu. Here in Nairobi, you see them being hosted in parklands. Why do you think that is happening?
Yeah, somebody was telling me the other day that parklands, you could not access parklands before unless you were made.
Why do you think that is happening now?
That is a problem of integration. You come to, you buy land somewhere and then unakuwa supremacy.
Unakuja na
you don't
supremacy.
want to integrate with the people there.
It is a big issue, but we are prosecuting very badly and very poorly.
I agree. The formula of prosecution could be wrong.
Yeah.
But the truth is, today, we are allocating land to France. We are allocating land to British.
To the Israelis. The British are coming here raping our women and leaving Capuchino children here. Okay? Children who wakosa kabila. And these children are hard to children?
Yes.
What's a Capuchino child?
A child between a black and a white is a Capuchino child.
That's a bad child.
Not a bad child. It's just the description is Cappuccino.
Why is it called Cappuccino? Okay. Cappuccino is tea, right?
No, cappuccino is coffee.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they look like cappuccino coffee.
It's very nice. It's very nice coffee. It's between white and black. It's very nice coffee. It's okay. So we're having cappuccino children ambao wamekosa kabila. Their parents who are their fathers from the British Batuk. British African Training Unit in Kenya.
I don't know what the people of the internet are saying about this issue. I don't know what the people of people are also very tribal in this town.
Of course. There's nothing wrong with tribalism, but they should give us a break, especially these white people who are occupying our lands. Let's not be afraid to discuss the land question in Kenya. It is strong. We have to discuss it.
Yeah. Okay, that's good. Obunga, you open the cameras a little bit so that it's a bit light. Okay.
Yeah. So then we have Nani. Look at Nani talking. What is his name? Gachagua rejecting the apology by Omar. Omar apologized. Then
why was he apologizing if he was that right?
He was apologizing if anybody felt hurt.
But that's why I'm telling you that the way he's prosecuting it. For example, I don't know can you give this girl some mic?
Come and sit here.
Come and sit where this guy is. You know, I think this panel is very bad.
No, we are not bad. We're just saying the truth. Yeah.
I think this panel is really very bad because I'm just feeling like the way you are prosecuting this thing, because if he thought that he was right, then why can't he stand by his words?
No,
why
he
can't he stand by his
actually
words?
what Omar said was the three presidents that have been there waliiba land.
Okay.
But now the Kikuyus are the only ones who felt hurt. So he said in his apology that he was not talking about Kikuyus alone. He said communities. So that includes the Kalenjins.
Okay. He's clarifying.
Yes, he was clarifying.
He's clarifying.
And I've said here, Moi stole land, and he was allocating it like biscuits,
yes,
and chips and fish in across the country. If you're a friend of Moi, you are given land.
But it is very interesting. For example, if we go to Gachagua himself, why do you think he's not talking about what Kenyatta One did to them? Why is he not talking about it?
Because he knows what it means.
What does it mean?
It is the blessing of the Kenyattas for him to be a kingpin in Mount Kenya. Does not rattle them.
So he skirts around it.
Yeah, the other time he sent some people to go and steal the merino sheep of Kenyattas along Thika Road. Yeah.
What do you think about this issue?
Frida
is another beautiful one. Is out of camera. What do you think about this issue, Frida?
repeat the question?
The question of land and the Kikuyus and the Kalenjins and everybody else, and especially the thing that Omar was saying.
Sentiment. Well, I agree with what Odhiambo is saying, that of course these are conversations that we have to talk about.
Okay.
Of course, it's wrong that it's taken a very long time before we actually talked about these things, and we are shying away from them. And these are issues that when it's mentioned, some people feel like they are attacked, and of course the others that are like, let's go all in, we have to talk about it. But then I agree with you that Omar shouting at us on a podium is not a way of making change. If anything, it's not going to bring anything forthcoming.
Yeah.
That is just part of his political, trying to side with his political friends or affiliates, because he's from the UDA camp.
Yeah.
So of course it's not as if he really cares as much about the people that feel like their land was occupied by foreigners, or people that he calls they should go back to their places and leave room for the original people for that particular land.
Yeah.
But of course, we are all Kenyans. Everyone has a right to mingle and go to any other place that they feel comfortable to stay there. Because coming to Nairobi, none of us, an urban geographer will tell you that. Yeah. None of us is an inhabitant of Nairobi, but we come here and we call it as home. There are people that have been born in Nairobi and they call this as home. And of course, everyone that was given that particular land during the Kenyatta One's time, none of them is alive at this point in time.
Okay.
But of course, sasa tunahukumu wale ambao wamekuja, the generations that have come thereafter, which is wrong. So I mean, it should be moving away from being a political conversation, but really being a conversation that drives for change.
Okay.
That if indeed we really care as much about the people of the coastal region that feel like they were displaced, and now these people have come into their space, they should go to another different space, then of course it should be a conversation away from politics, but just a conversation that indeed, let's make a change. Because Odhiambo has highlighted that Omar has been talking about it, not once, not twice, but then, as you said, he's close to power now. So why would he shout at us instead of taking the right channels? The people from that particular region, we have representatives, we have legislators from there.
Yes.
He does not fit the legislation, but he is a legislator. So how about him taking the right channels to address this issue, rather than waiting for this particular time when he actually felt that these people is being triggered? That's when he's highlighting it and shouting at us on a campaign podium.
Yes.
But then, you know,
what's the problem I'm having? That's the problem I'm having with Omar, because Omar is occupying a very interesting position in government today. When people are giving the president sweet in a meeting, he's one of the guys that get a sweet. But he's shouting at us. By the way, people are saying that Jagero is the people of the coast should tell us whether the president has resolved the land issue, and they can make their voices heard through the ballot. That is Tony. Mr. Gikeo is saying Odhiambo is spot on this. Annie is saying who felt hurt. Mkuna mchezo sana. Annie is always interesting. Samson is saying Odhiambo, stop being bitter, please chill down. Hands movement too much. The land issue is not something we can solve in one conversation. Okay. Nobody is saying certain places. That is Dandrick. Nobody's saying certain places belong to who. Those who underwent historical injustices done to them by some certain systems. Nobody is accusing Kikuyus. It is the Kenyattas. Yeah. Right? Exactly. Somebody is saying Odhiambo is not being bitter. Odhiambo is too bitter. Why the truth is out. Baba said Uhuru is an innocent inheritor.
that was the hallmark of satire. If you didn't go to school, you don't understand what satire sounds like. That was Raila being satirical. Hapana, huyu si mwizi. Yeye amepokea tu. Yeye ameridhi tu.
Really?
Yeah.
Jagero, is Frida rapping or talking? Frida. Somebody also wants to see you. Wanakuanga hivyo hao wanaume. Usikubali. Jagero should walk out of this podcast. He looks a total amateur. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go on with Odhiambo.
Yeah, so I wanted to give you the example of another land question in Nairobi.
Okay.
You must have been in this country and alive when we had one David Kamau Mwenje, who was very popular in Nairobi as a parliamentarian representing Isla Embakasi constituency specifically. Yeah. He was known as Baba was quarters. Okay? He left a very big blueprint around the land question. He believed in something called freelance settlement.
Freelance
settlement. later on in life, when people investigated what Mwenje was actually doing, he could actually settle people, but at the center of that settlement was his own buildings. Okay? So he was using people as human shield, the same thing that Israel accuses Hamas of doing, saying, oh, wale ni wabaya, but yeye kumbe ametumia watu. The same fashion with which Kamau Mwenje used to do this thing, as is reported by different questions in Dandora, I can see here. Even at Jeshi la Mwenje, which would deal with somebody who would try to do something silly, you know? So David Mwenje is one of the examples of the land question which has gone wrong in this country. The sprawling of the slums in this country, if you look at it carefully, it's availability of cheap land which is not legal in terms of acquisition, and since people could not buy that land, they build up what? The slums that were there. And they even have armies like the one that we are seeing here on David Mwenje, who passed on in 2008 at the age of 55. Anyway, the same thing that we are fearing, we'll have to face it. Because, for example, today in South Africa, Frida, they're saying that Mandela did a mistake. Mandela did not allow the Nini to finish, you know. I wanted to say it, but I know children are watching. The Nini to finish. And now the Nini has come to finish. And now instead of dealing with the white men, now they're dealing with each other. It's going to be a civil strife in South Africa. So if we are shy of kulainisha maneno ya land in Kenya, a time is coming when a civil strife will be inevitable because of the question of land.
Yeah, Odhiambo, by the way, I totally agree with both of you. It is very interesting that we are talking about land in a fashion that is so light and is not likely to bring out any change. It's shouting in the forest. I don't think it's not going to bring any change.
That's how we discuss everything in this country. It's not just.
But can we not change?
We can.
I mean, we should be able to change. We should
Where,
be able to change.
where the attention goes, the energy follows.
Okay.
Yeah,
can we talk about Uhuru now?
Yes. Let's talk about Mr. Kenyatta.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I also included Mr. Raila Odinga in the same conversation.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, because I feel like Raila Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta are the ghosts of 2027. They're the ones that... my thinking is that Uhuru is such a nuisance to everybody else in this electioneering period. Is not sitting very well with Ruto. He's not sitting well with the Gachagua. I think him and Gachagua, they are still, in some sort of fight, looking for supremacy in the Mount Kenya region. And I'm not sure where this is ending. At Gachagua, I have a feeling I've decided to respect him and to bring him close. But I think there is a lot of simmering animosity or a sense of unforgiveness between the two of them. And while this guy Gachagua is the strongest is stronger of the two, I don't know what Uhuru is actually looking for. But then again, we have also having the story in Luo-Nyanza where Gladys Wanga and co have decided to forget the issue of Linda Ground. And I think they are trying to strengthen their networks and trying to move away from Luland and make ODM a national party. Where are we starting from in this conversation?
So we can start from whatever was happening in Gladys Wanga and Linda Ground, then we come back to Kenyatta.
You have the Linda Ground?
Yeah.
We had a movement called Linda Ground, and the movement was to consolidate our bases. But some people came, and instead of thinking about their own movement, they came to this Linda movement. And they called themselves Linda something else. Koro ginawa wenegi. Koro 11 OD tuko tayari. I'm saying this because aspirants will be doing their own materials, t-shirts, posters, and so on. We don't want you to create confusion on your poster or material or banner. Iyo mambo ya Linda Ground, tumewacha. We are the ODM party under Dr. Oburu Oginga. So when you do your poster, when you do your materials, it's ODM. And the color is orange.
Odhiambo, what is going on here? What is Wanga talking about? Wanga seems to be abandoning Linda Ground. Pesa imeisha.
Well, it's brand alignment, I think so. ODM is on its usual trickery. It's a foolish person who will contest on ODM ticket in 2027. This is the last kick of a dying horse. It's going to be one of the strongest kicks. And I would urge those aspirants trying to contest within ODM to abandon it like a hot potato and try and contest as your own person. Because the person who used to hold ODM together is no more, and whatever is appearing to be ODM, rebranding as ODM Super, is a hoax. I think anybody who has a brain can see that this is trickery in terms of rebranding and telling people there'll be a clean nomination. Sifu Buru himself has declared he's going to contest for Siaya Senate again in 2027. A party leader going to contest for a senatorial position. And the chairperson, who is my friend, going to contest or defending the governor's seat. What do you expect, really? Do you expect that these guys can hold a free and fair nomination? It's nothing. This is pure hogwash. It's a waste of time. Anybody who has some little brain can smell the coffee.
What do you think about ODM?
I actually agree with him. I think the picture or the image that ODM was portraying by having...
Are you going to disagree with Odhiambo tonight?
He's making good points.
You want someone to disagree with me?
The image that ODM was portraying by having Linda Ground and Linda Mwanainji or that of division, even though Wanga and Oburu were saying that they were one party, they were united, having both Linda Ground and Linda Mwanainji was showing division. So they're just moving away from that, which is good. And also, as Odhiambo has said, ODM is not very strong, even in Nyanza. I think there has been a lot of people who are talking about Ruto because our may successfully wameweka watu wajaluo kwa Ruto. So Oburu and Co. So there is no need of having ODM if you can vie based on UDA and win. So I think they're just moving away from that.
Yeah, but I still think that ODM is a very strong party in Nyanza. A lot of people will still want to vie through ODM.
But it's not as strong as
Odhiambo is, and I think they're overestimating. I mean, this Raila Odinga issue, Raila this, Raila that, it's a bit interesting. I mean, really, because Raila is dead now, everything is falling apart.
ODM, as was under Raila, died with him. That's of course a fact.
What was it?
The way it was structured, that Raila was the Supremo. Yeah.
The demigod.
In that every key decision would have to be passed through him, even if it was procedural in terms of the party structures. They still have to consult with him on what to do. And that was the structure in which Raila made it work.
Okay.
Now, past that, ODM must have gone through a rebirth, but they're refusing the rebirth. So
what does the rebirth look like?
A rebirth looked like a reformation or a reform, a redemption sort of.
Okay.
And for ODM to redeem itself, because ODM suffered brand questions upon the death of Raila. Because Raila is the only person who wielded that power that he could direct ODM in a particular way. That's why he could say left, people will go left.
But
Tuesday,
I wonder why people think that was a good thing, though.
It wasn't a good thing. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a good thing, but it was the fact.
But people are giving Raila a lot of cheers for having held ODM in that fashion. It's like
because it's admiration, because that was near absolute power.
But I don't
People
think
admire the
it
power.
was something that is in ODM peke yake. Because in Kenya, Kenyan politics are personality based. Even Jubilee, Uhuru Kenyatta is the party leader, but since he left active politics, you see it's crumbling. Even UDA, if Ruto leaves UDA, it will not be UDA anymore. Jirongo had a party. Do you even know his party?
Yes.
So it's just something that is always there. Institutions are not built to last long in this country, and that is just how it is. So we cannot keep on saying.
So then why are we cheering somebody for doing that?
Because that's who we are anyway. We really don't care about.
I feel like that ODM has just been infested by greed and a little bit of nonsense and lack of tact.
You see these top honchos, and I have to say here clearly, without a doubt. And let me speak to the aspirants.
Okay.
Leave alone the candidates who are already substantive, like the governors who are holding key positions due to the ODM ticket. Those ones will retain their nominations for a fact. ODM will not want to joke around with them because they have some past where they would want to, help the party do something with it. But for the aspirants, especially, if ODM does not go through a rebirth, there's nothing you're doing in that party. And it's for this reason, Jagero. that if you look at these people who are talking about...
Can you specifically talk about a rebirth, Odhiambo? Because I see you guys throwing this word around, but it's not making sense. What is a rebirth?
Chairman Mao of China did something that was interesting, and upon his exit, the Chinese Communist Party knew very well that they would not run the party in the fashion that Chairman Mao ran the party. Okay. What did they decide to do? They decided to form a tiered system of political power in the party, where they have the central committee that has about 7 main officials with a representation from the whole of the country. Now, these 7 top officials, the president is always chosen from one of them. Okay? And you don't just get to the 7 officials by decree or what. You get there by performance, with performance. Like this Xi Jinping. If you look at his history, he was one time one of the mayors or chiefs of Beijing back then. And remember, I think it was about during 2008 or something, or there before. There was some big Olympics that was happening, and he was one of the people who was trying to organize. And he did so well in managing his place. And he outperformed the rest in terms of development. And that is how he got prominence to be promoted into that committee of 7, of which now he's the president serving almost life because they removed that, because he's working for them, okay? He's revolutionized that. Now, the Chinese Communist Party knew so well that they would not survive if they went personality. So they went collegiate. The same to CCM in Tanzania. After the passing of Nyerere, CCM, or even when Nyerere was still alive, CCM decided that they're not going to have personality worshipping there. The party has a central committee, and the central committee has a team of equals, sort of a council of leadership, where one of them becomes a nominee for presidency. And the nomination is done actually by the current chairman, who is normally the president, who is exiting, okay, and endorsed by the rest of the party members. Yes. And that's why you've seen CCM in Tanzania have a stranglehold of the power there. Now come to Kenya, and specifically the ODM question, how they needed to rebirth. This is something that I have shared with most of the people who I think it is important to share with them, but I also share here. I believe that upon the passing of Raila Odinga, the position of the party leader, okay, should have been reserved honorary for Raila Odinga.
Honorary?
Honorary. Okay?
So nobody occupies that seat? Nobody occupies that seat.
So it becomes the driving North Star of the party. That this is what Raila would have wanted. This is the ideology that Raila would have wanted. Because today, what is the prevailing or driving philosophy of ODM or ideology of ODM? Nobody knows. So what should have happened at this moment is that these people agree that how many regions do we have in this country? We have 8 regions, which are the former provinces. Let us have a nomination or a representation from these 8 provinces, sitting at the council of the vices. Okay? So basically 8 vices from across the what? The country. Then amongst these 8 vices, we have one person being selected to be the chairman. Now this chairman then becomes, quote unquote, the leader of the party. Okay. With those powers that were reserved for the party leader, who is now honorary after his death, okay? With that one, we would see some level of equality and sobriety. But now, we are having everybody trying to be a Raila in ODM, which is impossible. Because everybody wants to behave like they can pull crowds, you know. Everybody wants to behave like now they're promising in Kisumu that they're going to hold a very big rally in the next few days, a rally like that has never been seen. But what did we see the other day? Huge mobilization with money being disbursed way in advance. We were with you in Maseno when we went to do the public lecture, when those 4 gentlemen came to us and gave us evidence of how they were being given money and photographic evidence of who even gave them that money, one of them being my friend. Okay? So it's a fact that ODM cannot move forward as a lively party because they have to pay for people to show up right now. Initially, Raila would just say, in fact, people would hear Raila is passing. People would hear ODM honchos are passing, Wakinotino Kajwang back then. They'll block the road. Right now, you'd pass, nobody cares. You have to issue some money so that people turn their head.
Frida is trying to vie in Kisii land using ODM. I don't know. Frida, which party do you belong, by the way? What do you think about the disintegration of ODM? Because did you have a feeling that Raila was going to die this soon and you are going to be partyless? What's your party, by the way?
So do we start from where my party is?
I'm just wondering. Did you tell me that you're Gen Z or you're past that? You're millennial, Gen Z?
I'm a Gen Z.
You're a Gen Z?
Yeah.
All right. Which party? I told you to forget about women. Everybody wants to become that useless position.
Well, as at now, I wouldn't say there's a party that I'm loyal. I'm loyal to as at now because initially I was in the ruling party. Right.
You're no longer in ODM.
No, I'm not.
You're not in ODM.
I'm not in ODM.
You are in UDA.
I was in UDA.
You were in UDA.
I was in UDA.
Okay, but now where are you at?
I'm not in any party as at now. Yet to declare the stand.
The other day we were talking with you and you told me that you are a very passionate UDA person. What happened? Ruto, at what point did you divorce with Mr. Ruto?
Well, I'll tell you, just like every other Kenyan out there, the plan was actually the plan.
The plan was the plan?
By UDA. You remember the manifesto launch?
Okay.
The plan was quite something. Anyone who has a sober mind could easily be bought into that particular plan they had for the country. But I'd say there's a very huge disconnect from what the plan was offering and what actually the government is doing. I feel like they got into power and now the wrangles whereby we even have the deputy president chased out of the camp. Now everyone started to grab what is inside here. Let's pick this, let's pick that. And I feel like now there's a huge disconnect from what the current government was offering at time of campaigns and what it's actually doing. So that's why you're finding that people that are actually crying the most on the social media, and people will tell you that the people that voted actually for this government more than people that were actually for the other camp.
Okay.
So you realize that they are disillusioned that, what is going on? So back to what is happening in ODM. Gladys Wanga, when she actually states clearly that now those that are campaigning, siweke logo ya Linda ground, sasa sisi ni ODM, sort of ODM asili or whatever they'd want to call it now, original. Have they first succeeded in lindering ground? Wamelinda, wamemaliza, have they succeeded? Because then again, if you're talking about zoning, people have penetrated. We are going to have UDA candidates running kwa bedroom. So you are wondering, have you succeeded with what Linda Ground was actually standing for initially, and what now is the cost then again? Because her telling that, who has put her to give direction of now that ati sasa I feel like this particular position she has as a chairperson, and by the fact that people lately are criticizing her that she has been full of amejawa na power, if you'd say that. I feel like it becomes then a problem for the people within the party, because it's not news that whatever is happening in ODM imefanyika kwamba mzee Raila aliweza kufa. It's because these people were actually greedy. It's just that ni true colors sasa zinaonekana.
But the question I want to ask is that at what point did you realize that Ruto is not actually following what he had set out to do? After 1 year, 2 years?
No, it didn't take it was actually 1 year. Exactly 1 year, I think. Yeah, 1 year.
What did you want him to have done in the first 1 year that he never did?
I cannot quite point out the very exact thing that I thought he would have done, but as going by the manifesto, because I still have it in hard copy, I still have it at my place, going by what the plan was indicating, I feel like within 1 year, actually within that first year, there was already chaos rather than actually execution of whatever the plan was offering.
Chaos that was born out of the fight that they were having with the deputy president.
Yes, and of course the deputy president, and of course you could even talk about the people, the immediate people that you can see. Forget about the top officers and the top guys in the camp. The immediate people that we saw were loyal to the particular to the cause, and you realize that they are all decamping. What should that tell you, Jagero? Yes.
Okay. All right.
It's an interesting conversation.
Yeah.
That she says, and this is something that happens with most people who are exiting Chama Kubwa UDA.
Yeah.
They normally say that, we are exiting UDA because whatever was promised is not being done. Then you ask them what actually was promised.
Yeah.
Then they can't say. Then you ask them what's the disappointment. Then they can't say. Just like there was war, there was struggle, and I sympathize with Frida because she too. I really like this girl. I know she can say the actual thing, but she's shy of saying whatever the problem was. But if you look at the plan which Ruto proposed, which she was part of anyway, and I was not part of. Really, I was in Azimio. This will talk about reduction of fertilizer prices. It's happening. In fact, it has happened severally. Farmers in the rural areas are very happy. This fellow talked about reawakening the sugar mills. It's happening.
Yeah.
He talked about construction of roads, reawakening the northern frontier.
Yeah.
It's happening. This fellow talked about affordable housing. He talked about 50,000. It was overambitious, of course. Everybody knows that. But is he doing something towards it? At least it's a sprinkle.
Do you think that FIDA and her camp are doing this because of peer pressure?
No, it's because of the ground. The ground is swelling into a perception, especially the urban areas.
Yeah.
Is swelling into a perception that Ruto is unliked. Of course, in the urban areas, I told you yesterday, they may not like President Ruto much because, of course, of his posture. And this is something I have an issue with personally. His posture in the public and how he talks in the public could affect how the public would receive him, especially amongst the young in the urban areas. But in the rural areas, the fellow is doing very well. That's why he keeps on winning by a lot, winning a lot by elections.
Matiang'i's daughter is here. I mean,
Yeah.
you were never, Ruto was never your darling.
No. I was a strong supporter of Baba. I believed in his
ODM.
manifesto. No, I was not in ODM. I was just a supporter of Baba.
How can you be a supporter of Baba and not be in ODM?
Because I was still in high school, so I was not a member of any political party.
You were the choir.
That was singing in Bomas. But I believe whatever Baba stood for.
The small choir. Can we go to that video, Diambo?
The one
Can
where-
I say something before?
Yes,
we go to that?
yes.
Unlike Odhiambo, I don't believe that ODM is going to make a comeback because ODM is a strong representation of what our society is.
Okay.
We don't have strong institutions in Kenya. If we take the example of DCP, for example, if Rigathi Gachagua is taken away from DCP, then it is not a political party. Everything is in Kenya is just that. So I don't think they are going to make a political comeback because people trust individuals more than institutions.
Well, I don't care about ODM.
Yeah, you don't need to care.
Yeah.
I think it's a party, as it is now, it's a party that is so myopic.
Yeah,
In
but
terms of-
I'm not
in
just
terms
talking about the
terms of
state
vision.
in which it is now. I've never cared about it.
Yeah, ODM is
For a long time.
Let ODM disappear.
No. Those are historical injustices imejaa huku
I
ODM.
agree.
Historical injustices. Wewe ni mtoto.
Hujui.
Karibu kwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Karibu kwa Uhuru Kenyatta. Yule jamaa hataki kucheza Uhuru Kenyatta. Hii kwa nini? Amekataa kabisa.
Tumeanza kuona wengine wakianza siasa ya mgawanyiko, na wana haya wakiongea haya, wanaongea haya mbele ya wakubwa wa nchi, na wanasimama na wanaongea mambo ya kuchochea, mambo ya kulete vita, mambo ya kugonganisha Wakenya, na hakuna mtu ambaye anasimama hapo kusema msiongee vile mnaongea. Wanaruhusiwa tu waongee yale ambao wanasema. Sisi kama taifa, na ni vizuri tuambiane ukweli, kwa sababu tusipoongea ukweli tutarudia makosa ambayo tumefanya nchi hii.
So the question that, Martha is claiming here that Jagero hits anything Luo and he judges on a different standard. That's a bit too much. I don't hate anything Luo. I'm Nilot by blood, and I really the thing is that I've never liked the way we have done our politics in Luo Nyanza, and especially the fact that we have decided to put our foundation on things that do not really bring development in Luo Nyanza, but just shouting, like somebody's high school is ati mimi ni mfuasi wa baba, hata baba sijui ana
Wacha kuonea bwana.
Wache zake.
But anyway, that is another thing that I really love. In fact, I think that Luo should have been a country
I agree.
on its own.
Secession is something that we should have gone into early enough.
But I don't believe we would have ruled ourselves properly. Sisi ni watu wenye unyu na rungu.
Leading Luos is very difficult.
Very difficult.
That's why you just have to be a dictator.
You can imagine trying to cross to Mabei.
They will tell you, wewe, ukifika hapo River Nyando, River Miriu, no entry.
I'm telling you, the kind of how did it look like Odhiambo before? I don't know. How did it look like? The Luo nation.
You know, Tom Mboya said something
Yeah.
in his book that the problem with Kenya
Yeah.
is not actually tribalism. The problem with Kenya is clanism.
Exactly.
Clanism is heaviest in my experience amongst the Luo. Because everybody, you know, Luos are not homogeneous quite. Because we all come from a different clan, Joka Jok, Jokomolo, and Joka whatever. Of course, all of us belong to Sinakuru Kukulubanga, Madognam.
First have you had that? You don't have that?
Yeah. You know, I thought the guy was just talking, but the governor of Migori, I thought he was just talking. Then I was like, but this guy could be saying, let me Google. Then I found this Sinakuru Kukulubanga Madognam is actually the actual grandfather, the actual ancestor of Luos and Kalenjins. And we split from that common ancestry.
Yeah.
But you find that Luos are inherently aligned to their clans. I don't think it will be very easy. A Luo nation would have to be a dictatorship.
Yeah, I always think
Absolute dictatorship. Because the people who are very difficult, not very easy to talk to, always advocating, development, shida hapa na pale, you know, proud, but you know.
But it is also a very small. It's also a very small mass of land.
Yeah,
and being a dictator is very easy.
Yeah, yeah.
And there is nowhere to run if there's somebody is a bad dictator in Luo Nyanza. There
Exactly.
is nowhere to run.
Exactly.
Maybe
If you start running, you get into the lake.
Maybe mngekuwa pamoja na Acholi of Uganda. All the
Yeah. Because
Acholi
actually we are within the same area except for the Wanga community that occupied in between us, you know. Yeah, but Luos, it will be interesting to see. Because Luos start from, is it Wagus or who? This one, Shirati, around Tarime, then we stretch up to Kenya, then we go to Uganda kidogo.
You see, now he's the president, you have the past president. Okay, but what does Uhuru want? In our thumbnail, we have the ghosts of the 2027 elections, and we have. What do you think about Uhuru?
Let's evaluate Uhuru objectively.
Okay.
This man is very charismatic.
Okay, I like his Swahili, man. I wish I could speak in Swahili like he does.
What happened?
In terms
Were
of,
you not raised in Kenya?
Me, myself?
Yeah.
But Kiswahili is not a Luo language.
But what did you learn in school?
No, we never
We
learned
can't learn.
Swahili.
There was no Swahili. I got
learn mother tongue.
I got a B+ in Swahili, but I can't speak it.
Yeah.
The Nilotic language, the Nilotic tongue is very heavy.
Yeah.
It does not do well with the phonetics of Swahili. Bantu.
You know, Swahili is heavily Bantu
It's heavily
and
Bantu.
Portuguese.
And
And a bit
Portuguese.
of Arab.
Yeah, a little bit of Arab. So
Yeah.
it's just hard. Yeah, Swahili.
It's not hard, but anyway.
No, you have to really
Well,
train.
you can just. But I also hear you talk about sharing. You don't even speak Swahili.
You have never had me. We don't converse a lot.
But you are good in Swahili Sanifu.
Yes, I can.
You can go to a television and talk about Swahili the whole time. Like the whole time.
I can speak good Kiswahili.
Oh, okay. But lawyers are very good Swahili speakers. But even Kisses, I don't know whether Kina Frida speaks Swahili properly.
Hey, pure.
This
Yeah,
one,
they are
young man
Bantu.
does not even know how to speak Swahili. Does he really know how to speak
Kiswahili
Swahili?
mufti.
Huh?
Kiswahili mufti. Kisses
They're
and
Bantus.
Swahili
Really rich
iko na
kids,
asili ya Kibantu. Kiswahili kina asili
Yeah.
ya Kibantu na Uarabu. So
Hata vile anaongea.
Tamu sana.
nang'ara.
Look at the Masai there. Cannot speak out Swahili.
And that was a metro.
You know, I'm always concerned when people say they don't speak in Kiswahili because it's our national language.
No, it's
and
not.
And there are people who are saying that. Who say that.
It is not our national language.
Eh?
It can't be our
They
national
are
language.
Buddhist.
I don't know where they came up with that thing from. But what do you think?
Yeah, well, Swahili is
No.
nice. I think, though I agree with
It
you.
cannot be a national language.
There's something called the first dialect effect. In Swahili, we call it lahaja ya kwanza, athari ya lahaja ya kwanza. And Swahili has so many dialects that then none of those dialects is Nilotic. Because you have the lahaja ya Mwanza, lahaja ya Zanzibari, lahaja ya Kiunguja, which the three that I know most. Then there's a Nyakach guy who I think you must be knowing, Owala Wudowala. Also known as
Wala Binwala.
Wala Binwala is actually a Luo from Nyakach.
Yeah.
Who lived in Zanzibar in Dar es Salaam and became a guru in.
Yeah, but you see, he lived there. Like
Yes.
like he was
course.
he speaks Swahili after birth.
Of course, and even went ahead to help change the academics of Swahili by changing the Ngeli in Swahili.
Have you ever had Patrick Lumumba talk in Swahili?
Yes, very nice. A man
I
from
have white
Sierra-
friends who
No,
speak.
it's not nice.
Oh,
it
he
is
speaks
so.
very
It is so
nicely.
artificial.
Well,
No,
it
it's-
sounds.
It is artificial. It's very artificial. You
It
can
sou-
feel that this is.
It sounds
this
artificial
is a Swahili
because
speaker.
it sounds artificial because he's not a native speaker.
Yeah.
So he's learning. But somebody like her, she will be very easy to speak it as she's doing because she is a native speaker. There's some things in lexicology called
Yeah.
diphthongs. So if you look at the study of language, there's a way pronunciation goes. And pronunciation should match your first dialect.
Yeah.
So for them, Bantus majorly because the first dialect has a lot of call them phonetics and diphthongs which are similar to Swahili. It's very easy. It's adaptive. It's an adaptive language. It's very easy for them to speak Swahili very easily. But of course, yeah, who cares about Swahili?
I have white friends who speak Swahili, so it's very strange that you.
You have a low friend who speaks Swahili?
Yeah, but I speak
White
Swahili. But I speak Swahili a little bit.
Ya kuomba
A
maji
little
hivi.
Anyway, let's go to Uhuru. Let's speak about.
Yeah, so I was saying, Uhuru Kenyatta, I think, is a very interesting fellow in terms of his personality. Uhuru Kenyatta was born a prince. And that is where the problem begins. And that is where the advantage also begins. As a prince, you are taught governance from the word go. You're taught leadership from the word go. The only school you go to is the school of governance and maintaining that bourgeoisie kind of status. So who is Uhuru Kenyatta between the time he's born and the time he gets into leadership? He's born in State House, of course, during the Uhuru, clamour for Uhuru. And he grows up in State House, and next to State House, that's Caledonia Estate. And he knows no suffering. Uhuru at one time even mentioned that he does not know why Kenyans don't have money, or the price of milk, or the price of bread, because actually he doesn't know, because he's never gone to the supermarket to buy bread or milk, right? We don't hear much about Uhuru under Moi. The only person we hear about more under Moi is Mama Ngina Kenyatta. Then Uhuru comes to the front when somebody is forced to step down in Gatundu for him to come up as a nominated MP or something. There's something that happened in Kanu, I think. As he was nominated, Moi had that penchant for nominating sons and daughters of his relatives and allies, one of them being Mudavadi. Mudavadi is a creation of Moi, who was the son of a sister or something, the son of a wife of somebody, something in Kalenjin. Then Moi brings up Uhuru and makes him a minister, and in preparation for takeover, because prince and princesses know each other. Royalty plays royalty, okay? And at the level where Moi was playing, Moi was royalty. And the only person who could understand the atrocities that were meted to the people of Kenya under Kenyatta was Moi, and Moi needed a Kenyatta to protect him because they're one and the same people. So he brings Kenyatta against the wishes of NDP leader then Raila Odinga, who was just made the Secretary General of KANU, against Moi's own Vice President, Professor Julius Saitoti, and is appointed or is endorsed by Moi to become the presidential candidate for KANU. That then occasions a march out, a huge walkout, including the Vice President then, Julius Saitoti, joining the opposition and forming NAC. So we start seeing Uhuru, a man who knows how to speak very well, went to St. Mary's School, one of the highest schools you can talk of, goes and studies political whatever and economics in, I think, in London, if I'm not wrong. He's an institution man brought up under the Catholic Church. This is a fellow who understands how politics works, understands governance, and of course he's charming. Then he gets a perfect chance. Between 2002 and 2005, he's actively in the opposition, playing the opposition to President Kibaki. Then he shifts and joins Raila in terms of...
Does he really play proper opposition? He was just a choir man.
Well, whatever it was. But towards 2007 election, his shifts come from Raila and goes back to... Actually, Uhuru was one of the founding members of ODM. Then he shifts camp and goes back to Kibaki. Then, of course, the election happens and is promised that, takupanga-panga, and is made one of the deputy prime ministers, okay, other than Musalia Mudavadi, in preparation for whatever could be. And at one moment, you can remember him being even a finance minister back then. So he's taught the structure of government by actual internship or actual activity, learning on the job. Then a perfect chance occasions, and after the 2007-2008 elections and skirmishes, where the underdogs are revealed. That is President Ruto now, and then President Uhuru Kenyatta. They're all part of the six, Ocampo 6. And of course, this occasions the perfect ticket to 2013 elections in terms of the presidential candidates. Uhuru swings straight to power as a prince and not as a political fighter. He was practically made out of anger. Kenyans are known for their historic emotional reaction and penchant for emotional decisions or impulse decisions when it comes to voting. Instead of voting for development, instead of voting for actual change, Kenyans went for Uhuru Kenyatta, and that is the biggest mistake that happened in this country. I've always said it. It's my personal opinion. Other people experienced him differently. Are there things that he did well under his regime when he was voted as president? Yes.
What?
One of them being the Huduma Center thing, establishment of the Huduma Center thing. Two is this e-citizen platform. It was born under Uhuru Kenyatta. And many more things that were successful under him.
Edu Afya too.
Edu Afya was there. And there's so many other things that he brought which of course are beautiful. I saw the housing program in Kisumu, nyuma ya Kibuye Market. In Nairobi, he also helped steer the success of the Madaraka Express from Mombasa, albeit under corruption, to Nairobi and then further to the no man's land, which is his land somewhere in Naivasha. Okay? But is it something that is working? Yes. He started the last mile project in terms of electricity connectivity to the rural areas. Beautiful, beautiful things. So he's done something along the way. Then comes 2017. He has broken ranks completely with his deputy. That is President William Ruto. And he joins ranks or closes ranks with Raila Odinga. And they're able now to talk about change.
Why exactly was he not, why did he decide to cut ties with Ruto? What was the problem?
I strongly believe that it was an eating formula thing within the regime then. I strongly believe that, as it has always been, that the government is the president and the people he listens to. And then, who was Uhuru listening to? He was listening to Murade. He was listening to who else there? Because
Kioni?
No. Tuju, yeah. Tuju was quite a confident. Tuju is very good in political machination. I don't know who else he was listening to, because you cannot really tell who.
His mother?
Perhaps Muhoho, his brother. Because after the cabinet, it was said by those who were in cabinet that whatever they would have discussed would be vetoed in a private meeting between him and his private secretary and his brother, and perhaps his mother. So this is somebody who definitely was not coming to lead Kenyans for the struggles of Kenyans. He was leading Kenyans because his community decided to make him a king, because he was already a prince. It's like Britain, where the king dies and immediately forever, or the king leaves, or whatever they call it, yeah? Then quickly we move forward to 2014. Let me just go back there a little bit, where the actual messes happened. And this is where we have mutilation of the constitution. Specifically, the biggest bone I have to chew with Uhuru Kenyatta, and many Kenyans would have it, is the mess we're finding ourselves in today financially was brought by Uhuru Kenyatta in 2014. When they mutilated the constitution and the Financial Act and changed the question of the consolidated fund or the consolidated account. Aden Duale, then being the leader of majority, followed by Mbadi, who is now the minister, then the leader of minority, who seconded that not all money is borrowed in Kenya's name should come to the account. Yeah, Uhuru blew the purse, the wallet of Kenyans, to a very dangerous level. And this is how it looks like. Uhuru borrowed to a level that nobody else would borrow to a level that could maintain stability. That the window that he left for his predecessor will not allow his predecessor to do anything meaningful in terms of amassing for self. If you amass for self, the country will tilt. Then this money that was amassed, nobody sees it. Because as Joachim has always told us here, and Wanjigi has always told us on TV, and economists have told us world over, that you can only borrow for development. But for what development was Uhuru borrowing? Let's say this SGR, I've always said it here, it was overpriced. Wanjigi told us that from Mombasa to Malaba, they were not going to build a new track. They were only going to widen that existing track to a standard gauge, the meter gauge to a standard gauge. It would cost us 50 billion only. In fact, it was going to cost the taxpayer. It was going to cost the private developer who Wanjigi was bringing 50 billion shillings. But we are ending up paying over 650 billion in this project. So our country's future and our children's future was stolen almost 1,000%. So we've been indebted 1,000%. We don't know what we're going to do, okay? And many other sectors.
And your beloved Nailop did not raise any questions.
Of course. When you're in political power, one of the things that you must not do is that you must not offend your boss. Always ensure that you don't outshine your master. It's a political move. Because the most important thing in politics and in life is to survive. First survive, then you deal with the other questions later.
Or both of them were thieves.
Or it could be that both of them were involved. Nobody knows.
Can you say that louder?
She must not say that louder, of course, but it could be. It's speculative, yeah? It's speculative. So where does Uhuru leave us? Uhuru leaves us at a very interesting position where we don't know what to do. Because if you arrest him, you're setting precedents that you too could be arrested for atrocities. You can't stop him from talking politics, threatening him with retirement benefits, because whatever is amassed is too way beyond what you're talking about as benefits. He's also in a different league. He's basically an oligarch in Kenya. He controls the economy, literally. From milk, that I believe Mutahi Kagwe is still playing his politics of milk, even under Ruto, saying that milk cannot be sold by milk vendors. It must be taken to factory, okay? He's in banking sector, you've read it. He's in real estate, you've read it. He's in hotels, you've read it. This man literally is even in schools. Fuel, he's everywhere, okay? If you try to joke around with him and he pulls a bit of his money from the economy, you face huge tribulations. If he decides to fund chaos in the country, it doesn't take much. Just assume 47 million is pumped into the country to finance chaos in each and every county, okay? Or the key counties, Kisumu, Nairobi, Mombasa, Nakuru. And he just decided to lit bonfires and cause chaos. It doesn't cost much. This is somebody who can, of course, tilt us to that level. But we're not saying it is his intention, okay? Then the biggest question becomes, Uhuru retires and even hands over, yeah? Uhuru hands over something very interesting. I want you to listen what he does there.
I wish to now most humbly request His Excellency Honorable Uhuru Kenyatta to proceed to the inauguration arena to hand over instruments of power to His Excellency Honorable William Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. He will be escorted by the Chief of the Defense Forces, General Robert Kibochi. Tutulie tafadhali.
Kikatiba katika Jamhuri ya Kenya, rais mteule anapoapishwa hukabidhiwa zana mbili za mamlaka na uongozi kuashiria upito wa mamlaka. Zana hizo ni Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya na kitara cha kijeshi, ukipenda Presidential Ceremonial Sword kwa kizungu.
May I now request Your Excellency Honorable William Ruto to move forward and receive the instruments of power. Tumpongeze kwa makofi anapopokezwa Katiba ya Jamhuri ya Kenya.
Yeah, so you're seeing there President Uhuru Kenyatta handing over the instruments of power to President Ruto. But of course, he's not a very pure-hearted person. He's not a pure-hearted person. And the reason why I say this is not a pure-hearted man is before this handing over was done, this man was purely against President Ruto, his deputy, who of course he noted a few things about. It's a democracy. He's allowed to say anything that he wants about his competitor. But then he hands over and leaves a knife behind him to stab the president when he's seated. Of course, he does not look at President Ruto as his equal or as anything meaningful to him, because to him, this is a man who he described in every fashion, calling him a thief, calling him a land grabber, calling him everything that you would want to call him. Okay?
He's called Ruto a land grabber.
Of course. In his last
Which is
address
true.
at Uhuru, it's not true, of course.
There was a quote in case
There was a
where,
quote, there was a-
where Ruto
and-
had grabbed
Yeah,
land.
but I don't think Uhuru should call anybody a land
land
grabber.
grabber,
Yeah,
exactly.
they are both land grabbers. So I'm just saying it is true that Ruto was a land grabber. At the
Okay,
time.
so let's say Ruto is also a land grabber. It's fine. You know, sometimes you also give buranyao. Yeah, let's say also Ruto is a land grabber. That's fine. But this man, who is also a land grabber, calls the pot calling the kettle black, or the kettle calling the pot black. Okay, it's a zero-sum game, and he goes ahead and creates a machinery that wants to outsmart President Ruto. You remember when President Ruto came to power, in the first 3 months to 6 months, he was having a very good stronghold of the media. He was a darling of the people, etc. Then systematically, a campaign was started to be run by whoever knows. And I can tell you, we know how these campaigns are done. And this disenfranchisement, or this, what I call, there's a way it is called in America, where you raise hate against the state, or you raise hate against the person of the president. I'm forgetting his name. Insurrection, I think it's called or something, I don't know, I'm not sure. So there was that hate that was being channeled towards the person of the president, and him being demeaned by everybody who could demean him. And of course, you could see that the media infrastructure in Kenya today, and Jagger, I'm proud of you for this. Largely, the media infrastructure in Kenya is owned by Kikuyus. Again, sorry to say, but they're the biggest owners of the media infrastructure. The only person who had proven to the country that he can actually hire a firm that could do psychometric analysis and drive propaganda campaigns in this country is again Uhuru Kenyatta, when he hired Cambridge Analytica to work for him in 2013-14 and in 2017 elections. So did he fire Cambridge Analytica at the end of 2013-17 elections? No. It was still very active, including 2022 and beyond. Okay? Though operating under a different name, but the same people who were still active for him. If you study the 2024 finance bill question, of course there were questions which were legitimate, which people were raising. But the fashion in which the mobilization was done, even most of the Gen Z still don't understand how it was so effective. We saw people who you've never seen as influencers. People who today vashed, if you go back to your TikTok and try to trace them, you can never get them. People are educating us about this. We know so well that Russia, China, Kenya today has farms where we have bots that are running social media, bots that are contributing, bots that are creating content and posting. And it looks so real, and they overtake the algorithm of a particular geographical area, and they influence the conversations within that, okay? This man has caused disillusionment against the president heavily. And of course, there's been push and pull here, where sometimes the president is, I would say, respectful, not to go hard on him, okay? But if you ask me, by all means, what President Uhuru wants in 2027 is not known, and it is what people must reject. And perhaps if I say what I think, and if you allow me, I think President Uhuru Kenyatta is a man who is not done with defiling the country, and he wants to come back and get done with us. And that's what we are saying no to.
Vash is disagreeing. Your body language is very awkward. What is the problem?
I strongly disagree with what Odhiambo is saying.
Which one? Which part? He said a lot of things.
Yeah, he has said a lot of things, and he has portrayed Ruto as a very innocent person,
Okay.
and Uhuru
I
as
haven't
the
talked about
ultimate
Ruto.
evil person.
He's saying that Uhuru is coming to defile the country.
Yes, so he's the ultimate evil person. And you remember before the 2022 elections,
Okay.
Ruto was the deputy president then, but he was campaigning against his own government, the government that he was in. He was campaigning against it and saying all sorts of things. And so we cannot just say, you know, there's nuance in everything. We cannot just say that Uhuru was doing this and that and those, even though I believe some of the things that Odhiambo is saying is conspiracy theories to make things seem bigger than they are. But
Okay.
I believe that Uhuru is a business person.
Okay.
And every business person has interest. I don't think Uhuru will just sit down there and say, okay, let this country go to the dogs, and his business are involved. So what I think he wants to do in 2027 is protect his interests as a business person and the wealth that they have.
So what is
as-
wrong with his interest now?
I don't think there is anything wrong with his interest
Well,
right
well,
now.
Gachagua is said to have attempted to raid his farm. Has Ruto raided his farm?
No.
So what is he trying to protect?
Okay, if the country is
I also
unstable,
hear that he's funding your presidential candidate, Mr. Matiang'i.
it's not bad to fund people.
It's
He's
not
the party. Uhuru is the party leader of Jubilee, and Matiang'i is also in Jubilee, so it makes sense. But I also think that Uhuru has his hands in a lot of jazz. Just after the 2024 finance protest, kulikuwa na broad-based government that was formed. Raila was part of it, and immediately afterwards, there were some, I think 3 or 4 cabinet secretaries who were introduced from the Jubilee side. And this is something that a lot of people never talk about, but they are there. Kina Kagwe, nani alileta Kagwe in government? See, it was Uhuru.
Yes.
Yes, even though people don't talk about
that is the problem that I'm having now with Odhiambo, because he claims that Uhuru is trying to defile the country. On the invitation of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Dr. William Ruto, he brought his friends to government.
That's why
he's also
I'm not
complaining.
agreeing.
It's a trickster. Because
No, he's not a
Uhuru is a trickster.
Who is a trickster?
Uhuru is a trickster.
Okay.
Is because it is like a pickpocket. We're walking the same direction.
Okay.
Or he's a clever person.
Or he's a clever person. Let's say he's a sharp boy. In fact, he's the head of sharp boys. He pickpockets you, then smiles at you like nothing has happened. Because when you're saying, President Ruto extended an olive branch to him, accepting that there are difficulties in leadership. He drove himself with his one driver, leaving his own presidential machinery, went to Ishaweri.
With only his driver?
Yes, and talked to President Kenyatta and asked him to help him in governance, the same way he did ask Raila. And
what was wrong with governance?
He was having challenges, of course. We know.
Which one? So what?
There was some hate against him, and there was, of course, valid hate or valid accountability questions which the citizens were calling to, and they accepted that, hey, there's a problem. One, finance bill is an issue. Let's take it down. He did accept that. Everybody saw it. 2, he reached out for Raila and asked him, my brother, help me. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Come to the table. You, Mbadi, and you and I, who are shouting about who advised the government and everything, come, take these very positions which I am struggling with so that you help me. Maybe I don't know. Then we went to Uhuru Kenyatta and asked him, I also need your goodwill for me to govern. And that is humility, or isn't it, Vashti? Somebody comes to you humbly and asks you, I am poor, I am weak in governance. It is true. Sawa nisaidie. Then you give him ministers. Then he says, me, I didn't give ministers.
He says?
Uhuru said he didn't give ministers.
What did he give?
We don't know. But these people who he gave to the...
Is he not the
he
one
was given
who
4
gave
chances.
And
exactly. He was given 4 chances. And out of those 4 chances, he nominated Kikuyus only. Raila was given equally 4 chances. He only nominated 1 Luo. Gave mtu a Coast ingine. Gave a Turkana another one. Gave a Suba another one.
Who only brought Kikuyus?
Zote. Trickster. That's what I'm saying. So it tricked Ruto into, sasa tutakusaidia. Kenya ni moja. Tutaendelea ndugu yangu. Then all of a sudden realize this guy is still spewing negative statements about you.
What has he said that is so bad?
It is so, for whatever he was saying today. Let me tell you, whatever he was saying today, that Ruto should concentrate on governance and focus on people who are suffering. Somebody is being paid 26,000, they pay 11,000 for their rent, and they're wondering where they're going to use the remaining money for. This Uhuru Kenyatta, this man should shut up.
In my books, Uhuru
in
was
fact,
talking like a statesman.
He's behaving like a statesman, but we know him, he's not a statesman. If Uhuru was a statesman, let him account to us, where is our 9 trillion shillings that he took on our behalf?
Uhuru is a thief, Vash.
He's a thief, Vash.
He's giving some.
Let him tell us where 9 trillion is. That's the only question we're having with him.
Both of them are thieves.
I've said,
if we are talking
we cannot do that.
Let me
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Yes, but if we are talking about the issue of 9 trillion, who was the majority leader in parliament when that thing was being done?
Vasht.
It was Duale.
Vasht. The question
Duale is another
Vasht. Vasht, a minute.
Ruto was the deputy president then.
Vasht, a
so
minute.
we cannot just say that.
I want do you know why family is a very important sect of the community, or is the most important unit of the community? It is because that's where we learn leadership. It is because that's where we learn how our community runs or how society is structured. In your house, for example, when finally you will get married, and I pray you do, and I wish you the best because you're a very beautiful girl.
You want her to get married?
She will get married.
Why? Why do you want her to get married?
Marriage is beautiful. You are enjoying marriage. Why don't you want her to get married?
Who told you I was enjoying marriage?
Auma siko kwa hii kitu. Hii ni yake tu.
As your wife knows you are saying this.
Yeah.
If
So
she watches, I don't know.
So
Huh?
when
Udonia was in, why are you asking she had to get married?
I'm wishing her the best in marriage, and I'm only saying in that fashion, when things happen in your family, you don't start blaming people outside, because when you blame people outside, in your later years, you will start finding yourself trying to find relevance in society by doing some things. You can even start getting drunk so that people dismiss you, but you're actually hiding because you're not taking responsibility for decisions that happen in your family. Uhuru was our father. That's a fact in this nation. Because once you're the president, you're the father of the nation. Where there's an old man like Jagiro in the society, once you're the president Vash, you're the mother of the nation. Okay? During that moment, you can't say, si mimi kwa hii nyumba yangu, ni mtoto yangu masikio kubwa kubwa ndiye anakimbia hapa, ana mess up, huyu. Si mimi. What Uhuru did, he took a debt that we cannot account for. The auditors have said they can't account for this money. They don't know where this money went. In fact, under one circumstance, they've clearly said that, you know what? Money left wherever it was gotten from. I don't know whether it was Stanchart or where. And it went to JP Morgan Chase. And that account that was created there, only half of the money landed in Kenya. The rest of the money has never been traced to date. Where is this money? Because we take debts for development. Uhuru cannot show us, or you cannot show us in your village, where a development that was funded by debt that was taken from abroad is. But money was taken. We are suffering because of this money.
Vash is naive to the fact that money was stolen.
No, yeah. I'm not naive to the fact that money was stolen.
Are you ignorant?
No, I'm not. I know that money was stolen. But my problem with this issue is whenever we are talking about money being stolen or the problem of debt, we only talk about Uhuru and the presidency alone. But you know, Duale, who was the majority leader at that time, Ali raised a motion in parliament to increase the debt ceiling. So whenever we are shifting blame or saying blame, lazima tugawie kila mtu. Because parliament was there. What was parliament?
You know,
parliament is supposed to...
Vash is behaving like a child that has been caught with sugar on her mouth like this. Vash, sugar, wewe umelamba sukari. Simi peke yangu, Odhiambo pia. Jagiro pia. Frida pia.
Frida, what do you think about Uhuru Kenyatta as you know, he's now the benefactor of your presidential candidate, Mr. Matiang'i. What do you think about Uhuru Kenyatta? You have some love for him, an extension of the love that he has for Matiang'i?
Well, of course, first I do want to dismiss what Odhiambo said.
Okay.
Our former president is a statesman, and of course we give it to him that he was a president, of course, with the charisma that people give him for that. So of course we cannot just wash that away and call him a drunkard. I mean really.
Yeah.
So his intentions are not clear as at now. No, I mean there's no Kenyan that can actually point and say this is exactly what Uhuru Kenyatta is aiming at. But from where we sit as people, as people who've gone to school and can read the signs, as you mentioned, Vash, that he could be trying to safeguard. He's a businessman. I mean, you've just chosen to call him a businessman. Of course, we know there's more to him being a businessman. He's trying to protect, of course, the proceeds of the loot they've done over the years. Okay, as the Kenyatta family, there is that. We can't just say it's business. There's business, and of course, there's that. And again, you wonder that. The newly formed affair they have with the deputy president that was chased away, Bwana Rigathi Gachagua. So you wonder that, so now they have become darlings, and these are two people that could not, Gachagua had to, he hated him, but the whole time he was selling Ruto in his land, he could not look eye to eye with Uhuru Kenyatta. But now they are together trying to rally people for a particular cause. And then this should actually be a red flag. Ambayo tunasema, you see in a man and you say, idi red flags, this should be a red flag. Because then we are following people that we are sure it's not even for us, it's just about them. Clearly, it's just about them. And Uhuru Kenyatta, he himself has a lot of dirt when he was in government, which up to date, he has not come out clear. I mean, we have nothing to say that indeed tunamtoa kwa hili kosa na tunamweka kwa hili lingine. You see, so I mean, there's a lot still behind the guy, but now we just want to assume that he really cares about Kenyans at large, or rather he's pushing to us a candidate, so we have to support him just because we know who is supporting him. I mean, that is not enough reason from where I sit as Frida. I do not think that is enough reason. And If anything, I think he's the last person we should be following just because he was a former president. He hated the current president even while they were in office. And now that he gave him power, then now he wants to take it away and give it to whoever he deems fit. I do not think I agree with that.
Umesikia?
Yeah, of course.
We should take our calls now. Right about now.
Frida is very right in what she's saying. I agree with her. I don't.
Can you put the number for calls?
I don't apologize for saying that Uhuru was a drunkard. It was an embarrassment to the nation. Nobody in his right mind was proud seeing the president in the state which he was in back then. Maybe he has changed. Maybe he hasn't. But I don't apologize for that. That is who he is, and there's nothing wrong if we describe you for who you are. It will be foolish of me to say something that Uhuru wasn't. Like if I say Uhuru was a pedophile, and it is not true that he was a pedophile, that would be shameful. Was he a drunk? It is true. I don't apologize. I don't withdraw. I stand by it. He messed us as a country. I don't withdraw. It is the truth. We are in this shithole where we are in because of Uhuru Kenyatta. That's a fact. I can't withdraw. He was a bad man. He hated President Ruto. It's a fact. That is true. We don't apologize for it. Let's just call a spade for what it is. There's no fear. I was born once. I will die in a second. Thank you.
Vash, do you think that we should call Uhuru a former drunkard?
No, I don't think so.
He's still an active one.
Yeah. People of the internet, it is nice to call us now. If you can also through the normal line, that would be really nice. Because normal line, we have realized, is very, very, very clear. So if you can do that, that would be very, very, very nice. If you can call us to the normal line. People from America, people from all over the world can do that. But let's take the first caller. Allah. You have to, what is going on, brother?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Alison Otieno from Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah, as today has been quite a heated debate, but there's something I'm curious about this whole land issue.
Okay.
We've had a situation where we have where Kenyatta won placed Kikuyus in different parts of Kenya. Okay. I'm curious, do we have other tribes in Mount Kenya region, like a whole group of Kisis at Kisisi to Niwauku? Because I don't think that ever happened. So for that matter, I don't think Kikuyus have the right to always complain when other regions bring up this matter, because at some point they want to play victim. At other points, they always want they feel attacked. When we are just speaking the truth, that while they were displaced by the Kenyattas from their home, they went and had to go to other regions. Of course, there had to be some sort of shift. At what point do they agree with us, and at what point do they refuse? We are never attacking them.
Yeah, but the question is that, like I said, that there are young people, for example, Vashti here that is on the show, that might have found herself at the coast in Taita Taveta. And I don't think, what do you think about somebody shouting down at her and telling her that you don't belong here? I mean, what do you want Vashti to do in that case? She was born there.
No, I understand. You know, people, well, for that, that was just for his own political minded. But let's say it was the locals saying the same thing. Normally, people, when logic has left the room, when maybe they've seen that the channels they're supposed to follow has failed them. It's like going to Mandamano. Normally people go to Mandamano when all other diplomatic means have been exploited and nothing has come out of it. So the reason why now the locals might have an issue with this whole thing is because no one is listening to them. Let's not put this on politicians. Politicians want this to.
All right. Thank you very much. Let's hear from another call.
Who is committed?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
Good evening, Jagero.
Hey, Odhiambo, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Jagero. How are you?
We are all right. What do you have to say about this issue?
Hey, say hi to Vash and Odhiambo.
Yes, hi.
Yes.
Hi.
Yes, what I have to say about this issue, number one, I have to disagree with Odhiambo. Vash is right, yeah?
On what
When
issue?
we decided to that and it was Aden Duale who brought that bill, seconded by the heckling guy at the treasury, who was a friend to Odhiambo, called Mbadi, minority leader by then.
Okay.
Yes. So when Vash is saying that we should not blame President Uhuru squarely, Ruto was the deputy president when the
We're losing him.
We are losing him.
is still working at the treasury. So we should not blame President Uhuru squarely. What we said the other day, Jagero, we want somebody who can come to power and do what Jerry Rawlings did in Ghana. Take Uhuru Kenyatta, say that you stole this one, we want 10 times to repay this debt. Go to Moi, tell Moi that you stole this one, we want 10 times. Go to Kenyatta 1. Take everything. Put these people on the beat.
Okay. All right, Mr. Odhiambo. Thank you very much.
Did in Ghana.
Okay. Many calls coming in. Many calls coming in.
Yes, so Odhiambo is saying something which is very, very interesting. Nobody is denying.
Good evening.
Good evening. How are you? Just stay on the line. Odhiambo is saying something, and then you'll speak after him. Just in 1 minute.
All right.
Yeah, nobody's denying that. Of course, there were other players during that mess.
Okay.
But what I'm saying is, where does the ultimate responsibility lie? If we are looking at President Ruto today, anything that is going wrong in this country in terms of governance and accountability, even if it is a
nobody's talking about Kindiki, though. By the way, Vash, no one is talking.
Even if it is a cat that has messed somewhere, it is landing straight at President Ruto's doorstep, and he has to face it. Now, when we subject to Uhuru Kenyatta to the same standards, it's like, oh, stop being tribal, or you're being unfair to the former president. It messed us up.
I think that is the problem with Kenya.
Yeah.
Because everything cannot be that the president. We have institutions in this country. If parliament messes up, we have to look at parliament and say it's parliament.
And this very same, and Vash, let me
so
agree
that
with
we
you.
can make things work. Otherwise, saying the president
These
feel like
very same Kenyans who participate in these elections give us very rotten members of parliament. Then they cry for later. You are building a very beautiful house, then you're taking a drunk and putting him in charge of your gate, who is parliament. Then you expect that something good comes out of it. If you go down there and campaign on principle, Jagero, they will not elect you. They want you to give them money. Then when you go to parliament, you're busy recouping your money and stealing so that you move on to other things. But these people now want you to behave better. I mean, this duality of personality of Kenyans.
Yeah, let's go to the caller. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening. What's your name? Where are you calling us from?
Nairobi, Eliakim.
You're calling us from?
Nairobi.
Nairobi, okay. Go ahead. What do you think about this issue of today?
I've listened to you quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'd like to comment about the last topic about Uhuru and what he's doing.
Okay.
For some reason, I don't trust Uhuru.
You don't trust Uhuru? What? Why? Why is that the case?
What he's doing? I would be surprised if right now they're seated with Ruto somewhere, taking a cup of coffee.
Okay.
The biggest challenge Ruto can face is a united opposition in 2027.
Okay.
So what if Uhuru is just trying to divert our attention? But by the end of the day, he will make sure Matiang'i stands for presidency.
Okay.
And let's say Gachagua and his team on the other side. Because if Ruto faces one member from opposition,
yes,
he will have a rough time in 2027.
All right.
I will only trust him if we go to 2027 and he is to candidate from the opposition.
That is very interesting. Do you think that he's trying to protect his property? You know, he's building Northlands where he's going to be housing 300,000 people.
One thing, I can't substantiate, but rumors have it that the Eurobond money is part of what's being spent on Northlands. See, for those they were in total disagreement with Ruto,
yes,
we will have audited that particular Eurobond.
Okay.
And all these are debts that we call odious.
Okay.
The fact that Ruto is not auditing that,
Okay.
That indicates that these guys could be still having something in common.
Okay.
And that's why I don't trust him regardless of all that he says.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. This is Okanga from Ruiru.
This is
Okanga from Ruiru.
yes. What do you think about this issue of today?
I have several views on what has been talked about today.
Okay, make it in a minute, because so many people. We have about 500 people queuing to call.
Okay, thank you. So on the first issue of relocation of people in different parts of this country,
Okay.
I think this is the mind of Ruto.
All right.
Is the guy Omar is just a mouthpiece. You can remember.
Ruto ndo anamwambia enda sema namna hii.
Yeah, you can remember before 2013 election, Ruto was talking about these Kikuyu people in pockets of Rift Valley, saying that people were brought from Kiambu and settled in areas of Rift Valley and came with the same name Kiamba. Saying this is not right to him. Yeah, this is not right, but the way you said injustices happened, and we should not put those people who came to that who are beneficiaries now to task on the injustices of their fathers.
Yes. In finishing, what do you think about him politicking now?
Yeah, on politics now, I think Uhuru is being insincere. Yeah, Uhuru is being insincere, and I think he should just let govern.
All right.
When 2027 reaches, he will go home for sure.
Thanks. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Jakero. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon. It is actually going to good night here. What's your name and where? I see you're calling us from North Carolina.
Yes, I'm calling from North Carolina, Durham, Raleigh, RTP, Brian Opara.
Okay, what do you think about Maraya Leo? Vash is here, is disagreeing with Odhiambo, but mostly agreeing.
Yes. Yeah, by the way, say hi to Vash, Odhiambo, and the other faceless lady.
And the other what?
Faceless.
Faceless lady, because I didn't see her. She didn't show herself.
Faceless, yes.
Only.
I didn't see her. Yeah. She's called Frida.
Yeah.
Remember of
Frida, Frida.
But now she's partyless.
Yeah, I heard that. So on this issue, I am really disturbed when I hear people trying to say that Ruto all the time. The buck stops with the president.
Yes.
Anything that happened wrong when Uhuru was the president, it should be laid at the doorstep of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
At the doorstep of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
When
Tusiulize Ruto.
Yes. Leave Ruto out of it because Ruto was his deputy, his principal assistant. Okay. Uhuru was the one who was the president. If, let's say, for example, we were attacked, we will not be looking at Ruto, we will be looking at Uhuru because he was the president then. The fact that he was the deputy, yes, does not absolve him, but everything should be laid where it's supposed to be with Uhuru Kenyatta. So the issue of land, I think Uhuru is disingenuous. Okay? Uhuru is not. I don't know what is wrong with Uhuru. I don't know why he doesn't want to let Ruto run the government, like he's trying to interfere.
Okay. Are you,
Yeah,
are you a supporter of this government, sir?
I am patriotic, even though I'm in the US here legally and everything, live here. I've been living here for more than 10 years, more than a decade. I support Kenya and the government that is there. Whether that government, watu waipendi, watu wanasema sijui nini, me I support the government, okay?
So you support the government irrespective of what they are doing, whether they are massacring.
I support the continuity of the.
Support them. How does that?
I support the continuity of the republic.
You support the continuity of the
Now,
republic.
We share 100%.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Odhiambo.
In finishing.
In finishing, Uhuru can plunge that country into war. Now, there is one issue that I want to talk about, please. When Bill Gates here in the United States, okay, became very rich, okay, the U.S. government intentionally sabotaged him. And the reason was simple. They said there is no way one man, okay, can be more rich than the state.
We have to pick
because that is power. You are welcome. You are welcome.
Hello? Yes.
I want to comment on what he has said. On the matter of
Yes, Jagero, good evening.
Good evening. How are you doing? I want to pack you a little bit while Vash is giving a rejoinder to the last caller. So don't hang up. Just let Vash say something and then you'll join us.
On the matter of absolving Ruto or whatever is that happened during Uhuru's government, I want to say that on multiple occasions before the 2022 election, Ruto was heard saying that Uhuru was drunk most of the time. So all the good things that had happened in the Uhuru government, he's the one who oversaw it. So we cannot just absolve him of that. And also we have to look at personality. At least compare Ruto and Kindiki. Kindiki is a very laid person. And mtu mwenye anaacha tu vitu zinafanyika. But Ruto is not the same. Ruto is a bully. So at least sema ati aliachwa tu hakuwa anafanya vitu. Even before 2013 to 2017, kulikuwa na bromance that was going around showing that he was also a key decision maker in the government. So at least sema tu ati Ruto was not there. They were together.
They were together. Hello, how are you doing? What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Dismas.
Okay, Dismas, go ahead.
I have two things to say, very quick. First one, that girl is very intelligent.
That girl, which one? Frida or Vash? Or both?
Vash.
Vash.
Yes, very bright girl.
Eh.
Number two.
Mnakubaliana kisera.
Hatukubaliani kisera, but I'm just appreciating her.
I think that when people are agreeing with you, they are always intelligent.
Yeah, quite so.
Not really.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. My second point.
Yes.
I agree with Odhiambo that there are things that Uhuru did well. And there are things that he didn't do well. And for me, I think both Uhuru and Ruto are the same. Yeah, Kenya started going south from Uhuruto.
Okay.
We should apportion equal share of blame to both of them. The borrowing was heavy during Uhuru's time.
Yeah.
It is heavy during Ruto's time.
Okay.
Pilferage was bad during Uhuru's time. It is bad now.
Yes.
They were buddies, they were friends, they learned from each other, they're just doing the same thing. On his participation in politics, I think there's no problem.
Okay.
I've seen American presidents doing this, even Obama. As long as he doesn't utter words that are so divisive, or he doesn't become a person who sows seeds of discord, he has a right to speak.
Okay.
just that he has to be very careful because of the previous position he held, and now that he's a statesman. But let him do politics because he is Kenyan and he has that right to do politics. That's all.
Thank you very much. Right, that's very good. It has been very nice. There are people that have tried calling us here, but when we try calling them back, we don't. Okay, there we go. Hello, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, what's your name and where you are calling us from?
Oh, name is Brian, calling from Durham, North Carolina.
All right.
Yeah, I already talked, but thank you for giving me another chance. The issue that I have with Kenyans, Kenyans vote these same people, and then after a short period of time, they want to come out and complain. Look at the parliamentarians. Look at the governors. Okay? Look at the quality of MCAs. And after Nairobi County, the MCA, the seat of the MCAs, they fight. And these are the people that we say that we voted for ourselves.
Okay.
And then right now people want to complain about Ruto. Now, another issue that I have is Uhuru. Uhuru needs to let Ruto lead the country.
Okay.
Yes. He just needs to let him lead the country because he doesn't need to use his money to try and bring chaos in Kenya.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, Odhiambo, that was beautiful.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Something that we must say as we near the end of the show is this: that Kenyans must awaken to the fact that there is a point where they have immense power, and that point is the position of the member of parliament, especially with regards to the governance of the nation. Yes, the MCAs and the governors are powerful at the level of the counties, which also they must exercise a lot of conscience voting. At the level of MP, they must also work very hard not to vote with their stomachs but with their heads. Because the biggest challenge that we've seen in this country from back then, in 2013, is the quality of MPs that we had. The MPs who were there during Marende's time were very good MPs, and all of us know that fact. There are MPs who could express themselves, MPs who could speak on issues that regard mwananchi wa kawaida. But now, the MPs that we've had since 2013 to date is a joke, but it's also the mirror of what we actually are. So whenever you people who are watching Political Headache can find chance to speak to commoners or voters out there, it's prudent that we talk to them about the importance of the MP's position. The moment we elect rubbish into parliament, we will get rubbish out of parliament. And since parliament, in my view, was impeached in 2024, it has been a free fall. We need parliament that can hold strong. Somebody like Wetangula being a speaker is very laughable, and it shows the weakness of what a weak parliament can lead to. In finishing, I want to say this, that a country or an organization is at its strongest point as it is at its weakest point. So the weakest link of the organization will be the fault line that will lead to the collapse of that organization. The weakest link in our governance system is parliament, not anybody else. We may want to apportion blame to President Uhuru Kenyatta, President Ruto, and Jagero as a president, Rigathi, whoever, everybody who comes forth. But we'll only be able to stop all these people when we have a working parliament. Let us elect proper MPs who are going to serve the interest of the people, and not electing those people who have gathered money here and there, unexplainable wealth, and they're coming to contest so that they go and protect their names in parliament. I think that's something important that our Kenyan people need to understand.
Vash, in finishing?
In finishing, I would like to encourage people to make our institutions strong. I've been talking about institutions for a very long time. I even supported Matiang'i because I believe that the problem that we have in our country is an institutional problem. If we make our institutions stronger, we will have a better country. And I believe that if we give so much power to the presidency that we forget we have these other things. If there's a road safety issue, there's an institution that deals with that, that is NTSA. If we have this issue, kuna hiyo institution yenye na nini hiyo. So if we focus on these institutions that are mandated to do particular things, then we'll make a good country. Otherwise, tutakuwa tunaongelea tu mambo ya shida hapa na pale. Let's not give a lot of power to the presidency alone. There are these other things.
All right, people of the internet, it's always a pleasure having you guys. I want to thank Mr. Odhiambo. Thank you very much for always showing our political headache. Vasht, our researcher, and the one who comes up with the stories, the political headache that we are discussing every other day. Thank you very much, our guest, Frida. And thank you very much to our other guests who did not speak today, Mr. Kish. John Tess was on the deck today. Ubonga was on the cameras. Peter was doing logistics around. And our hospitality lady, Atieno. To the start of the show, our guests who come here and surround our fireplace so that we can talk about it and turn our chat into a beautiful, beautiful town hall. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. All right. Follow us on social media. We are all over social media. Until another episode, bye for now. HustlesAfrica.com, a guide to high-paying online jobs. At HustlesAfrica.com, you will discover the jobs people are doing from home, the platforms where opportunities are found, the skills that open doors, and the practical steps to begin earning. Go to HustlesAfrica.com today.